Oh, yeah, another Wednesday evening here with
Welcome
MVP
back.
Sports. Got Tim over there, Ryan across,
Yes, sir.
sunglasses on,
Yes, sir. It's a Tim Murray show.
and I believe we have
Brr.
Drew calling in.
Right now? Is he
Yes.
right on? Dude, that's like perfect timing. Drew, that is absolute impeccable
Drew, good
timing.
sir, how are you?
What is up? What is up, boys? I want you to know that you guys are live right now on Drew Sports Talk and Drew Talk Sports on the Facebook page. But I'm also streaming with you guys live on your cameras over there. So that's pretty cool, man. I'm excited.
Tell you what, I can hear him a lot better than last week.
And I'm still turning him up again.
I'll tell you what I can hear. Nothing, because this headphone jack is just donezo.
Oh, man.
Already, right out of the gate, headphone problem.
Oh, man.
Hey, you know it.
So I was driving down the road at work today, right? Right down
Can
152.
you mute me for a minute?
Certainly.
Make some.
I drove down 152 today, right? And I passed by Boneyard, and she's open, boys.
Yes, but not on Mondays.
Huh?
I have not on Mondays. I have called and called and called.
Not on Mondays. Okay. Well, a lot of places are closed on Mondays, though. Right?
Yeah, but we're talking about getting up there on a day where we're all free and getting some wings, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We're not talking about after the show. 'Cause
Thank
I
you.
don't know if I can steal away for an extra 2 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, we could do it on a show night. I just like my wing deal. I'm a cheap guy, you know.
I dig it,
The
too.
wings?
Wings are tough for me too because I've always gone to like wing night deals. So for me, when I have to pay full price, I'm like
Flats or drums?
Oh,
We've already had this debate on
yeah,
here.
we've had this debate.
Yeah, I know.
I think you're on board with me.
I am.
Your drums, right?
No.
Oh, your flats?
Yeah, I'm
Oh yeah,
All
we're
right,
on
my
board.
man. My man.
I'm all flats.
Oh no,
I'm all flats. I'm all
Drums.
flats. All flats for days.
So
best-
here's the best part. You probably turned me down a little bit.
I always.
I think I'm spiking. Okay. Everyone says that the wings, like the drums, hold more sauce. That doesn't make any sense. It
Sorry, what?
doesn't make any sense because they're round. The sauce falls off.
You can barely dip it in the dipping
Right.
sauce.
I mean, the flats are pretty tough to dip too. But my thing with the flats is it's flat.
Yeah. Plus
It's
the meat's better.
It's kind of goes like that whole like Kyrie. See, I'm gonna tie this into sports. It goes to the whole Kyrie flat Earth type thing,
Yeah.
right? Nothing falls off because it's all flat.
Yeah. Sure.
That was weird. I couldn't hear you on my headset till now.
Yeah, that's a
See
good.
that?
That's a good analogy.
See that?
I like that.
I don't know.
No.
No, the bottom of the flat never has sauce.
Well, that's because
You
you
get the top of the flat and the bottom.
You'll
of the
see,
flat.
you've been
the
clear.
drum
He-
always has sauce all the way around.
see he's eating wings wrong. He doesn't
He is.
understand. You need to re-dip it in the
You
sauce
gotta
that they give you.
Yes, exactly.
Well, then anything
Exactly.
could have
And the
plenty,
excess
anything
sauce
could
at the
have
bottom
plenty
of
of
the barrel.
sauce if you redip the wing. Though.
Yeah, but
You're
we're not talking about having plenty. We're talking about what holds
your-
the best.
Your argument was drums have the most sauce. I mean, flats have the most sauce.
Yes.
That's because you redip it.
Yeah, but I
don't have
re-dip,
to re-dip
I
the
re-dip
drum.
my drums too.
But you don't have to.
I think you do.
Or flat.
You always have
Flats.
to redip.
Let's get a
Flats.
poll up on the page. Drums and flats.
Yeah, drums or flats. Let's just poll
Somebody
it.
work the
Just poll it.
Somebody work the phones.
I don't care. Whatever the poll says, drums are the
Well, I don't care whatever the poll says. It's flats or die.
But I mean, let's be real. We always just order wings and drums or flats.
No,
We just
see,
do-
Not
I
Tim.
always no.
Do you do flats
He
only?
gives me all
You
his
always do
drums.
I either
flats
get
only?
flats only, but Boneyard. If sometimes they're cool, like they've gotten a lot cooler because like now like they know like who we are and things like that.
Right. Yeah.
Not to like toot my own horn, toot toot.
Just
But
knowing- it's not that we're famous. We've just gone there for so long.
right. I mean, we
We've
go
just
there
funded them.
for
Wait,
10 years.
so we got Nick and Tim are drum guys, right?
No.
Right, or Nick and Drew are drum
Our
guys.
drum guys. Me
Okay.
and you are flats.
Okay. All right.
So if there's a place that won't do flats only, I won't eat the drums. Sometimes I do.
Wow.
I just think they're messier. They're just a pain to eat.
Giovanna won't eat the drums either.
Yeah.
She won't.
All right,
It's dumb.
all right. So listen, guys, I totally hear you about the drums and the flats. And you know what? Honestly, if they're cooked right and they have the right sauce, I'll eat either one.
Oh, I eat everything.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we can all agree on that. We can all
Now,
agree on
So
that.
hold on,
Here's the real
maybe
debate.
we weren't on the same
Here's
page
the
about
real-
this.
Here's the real debate. Blue cheese.
I was just about to say that.
or
Ranch or
ranch?
blue cheese.
Cheese? No.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
First off, I know we've had this
Ranch.
conversation before. Ranch is for barbecue
No.
and anything
Well-
that's like an Asian chili. Blue cheese all day is for buffalo. You don't eat buffalo or ranch. Whoever
See,
does
this
that
is-
is a monster and a
This is,
psychopath.
this is where the southernness comes out.
No, that's where you're a psychopath.
No.
Yeah.
Blue cheese is a New England thing. It
No, it's
absolutely
not.
is. It absolutely is.
No, chunky blue
mean-
cheese is a New England thing.
Blue,
Smooth blue cheese
blue cheese
is
in
not.
general
No.
is a New England
No.
thing.
You've
It
just been sheltered.
absolutely is.
You're sheltered.
Ranch is the way to go.
So you mean to tell me that?
I got an argument that
Go
it's
ahead.
gonna squash you. Okay,
Me?
because New England did not invent the blue salad.
That's
so
right.
it is not a blue cheese.
That's
it's not
right.
a New England thing. You know what a blue salad is, right? You got the head of
I'm aware.
iceberg or head of romaine, bacon, blue cheese crumble. That didn't come from New England. So we're not the blue cheese.
I just don't want
nutcases.
I just,
You just don't want to admit it.
No, I'm not admitting.
When's the last
anything.
time you've had blue cheese?
The last time I
Yeah,
had blue cheese?
Oh, I love blue cheese. though.
Now, are you
Maybe a
talking?
month ago?
I'll
So
dip fries
I
in
still
blue cheese.
have blue cheese. I'm not.
So what's wrong with it
I don't.
then?
I'm not disgusted by blue cheese. Like if blue cheese,
called
if
it
they don't have
black
ranch,
cheese. You called it
I'll
black
have.
cheese.
I'll tolerate blue
No,
cheese.
see-
I just don't like having
I
rotten
can't
cheese
do-
on my wings. That's
See,
all.
you know what you
But
need?
that's what I'm
That's all-
saying.
that's
Have you
all
ever
it is.
have you ever had Domino's blue cheese?
Yes.
That's
Theirs
the
is
best.
the best.
That's the best blue cheese around.
There's no chunks in it.
No chunks.
Because,
It's
I don't
smooth.
care about the chunks, but to me it's a pain.
Yeah, I don't like the chunks either.
It's like when I get a buffalo chicken calzone from DeMarco's up the road. Like you can't even dip the calzone in it because the chunks are in the
Yeah.
little cup.
Right.
So I'll give you that.
Pain.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But if it's buffalo, it's got to be blue cheese. I can't do ranch. I can't.
You can't.
I mean, like if it's like, hey, we're out of blue cheese, then fine. But if there's blue cheese and ranch, dude, it's instant.
Dude,
blue
I can
cheese.
literally put ranch on everything.
Yeah, but everything else, like
Absolutely
Gold
everything.
Fever barbecue,
I can-
like a Chipotle,
Gold Fever
Garlic
blue
parm?
cheese
Yeah.
is really good. I think I don't know.
Garlic parm.
garlic parm. I do ranch.
I do,
Yeah.
But I
garlic
don't.
parm.
I don't
let
dip.
garlic parm be.
Yeah, I do that too.
I'm dip. Are we at a break yet? I figured we could leave.
We're at a break.
All
yeah,
right.
this is a good.
But I figured we could use
a good
this
start.
before
It's
we
a
got
good
into
start.
sports, and then got
It's a
blown
good
up
start.
on.
It's a
Alright.
good start.
So
It's a good
Perfect.
start.
Well,
So we want to hear your thoughts on this. Anyone that's listening, we want to hear one, if you are a flats or drums, and two, if you are blue cheese or ranch.
Blue cheese or ranch.
let us know. Let us know. We'll talk to you guys after the break.
Boom. I can hear myself.
and we are back.
I can hear Nick clear as day.
No.
I'm usually pretty perfect. on
Sometimes
this.
I can hear myself loud, so like I
can
try
hear
to
you
like
clear
tone
as
it
day.
down.
I can hear you
But then like
clear
as
as
I'm
day.
toning it down, he's turning it down.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like,
Yeah, so it's up and down.
I'm just a loud
It's
person
never-
in general.
it's a
I
never-ending
apologize.
chase with
Yeah.
Tim.
are you trying to tell me I don't have a loud, beautiful
We got
voice?
Drew back. Got Drew back.
By the way, There he is.
There he is. There.
Gotta-
We're back, baby. We're back.
Drew, should we wait till after 9 so your minutes are free or what?
If you guys want, basically what can happen is you can go pound tar. Because I have not only do I have an unlimited plan, but it's a free unlimited plan.
Oh, wow.
So, there you have it.
This is a pain.
Yeah, see, I'm still
How
on
did-
those, like, 1,000 minutes a month type deals. No, I'm kidding.
See, I'm like,
God.
I'm kidding.
how did you
No.
how did you go? How do you do a watch party? How do you do that?
I can do it. Do you want to do it from the
Go
page?
live?
You want to do it on the page?
I don't know if I can do that.
I can. Hang on.
He can't, 'cause he's the man.
Yeah, do that,
I
Ryan.
got
Do
you.
that.
I got this.
Anyway, let's get into sports. So, kick it off tonight talking about the
Can we
UFC.
Can we start
Is that
UFC
UFC?
251? Drew, do you
That's what I'm
mind?
thinking.
Because
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see any of the bouts. So I'm not going to be able to chime in very much on it, but I will say that it was a miserable night for gambling.
Yeah.
it was an awful night for gambling.
Nobody seemed to hit on any of the things. So
It was a good night for
I'll leave it
Vegas.
there, and I'll let you guys talk about it.
Dude. Okay, so let's start. I don't know. We'll start with Rose.
Want to know UFC
the
251?
Rose fight was good.
UFC 251?
Did
sure
you see?
want to do
Did you
this?
see the size of her eye, Rose's eye, and she still won.
See, but I personally feel like that was a good outcome,
That was great. Now, because she's
Because-
going to face Zhang again.
and I feel like it was a very good judgment call. As much as I hate decisions, I know a bunch of people at the house were like, "There's no way she won." I'm like, "It's not about the injury."
Did you guys watch the fight at that party too?
Yeah,
Yeah, we watched
I
it.
watched
Good,
everything.
good.
I
Even
told
the
them
prelims.
they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do a
Yeah.
fire." I was like, "Y'all can do a fire. I'll be inside."
Yeah.
Then they didn't do it. Everyone followed
No,
me
we
in.
all were inside.
But no, it was a
So
good
you guys
fight.
are
and-
telling me that Rose took a beating?
Not really beaten. A couple good hits. I mean, she had a big blood pocket under her eye, probably about the size of a fist. I mean,
good
it was
Lord.
a big,
Oh,
big.
She couldn't
blood,
see out of her left eye.
Yeah.
She couldn't see
I
it.
mean, she was pretty much my lock of the night from picks. I did go against her in my all Portuguese picks card that I bet on.
Yeah.
Just because the other girl had a more Portuguese name, but then I realized they're both from Brazil. So
Yeah. I mean, Brazil.
Really,
They speak
probably
Portuguese
gonna win
in Brazil, so I mean, I catch your drift though. I get your drift.
yeah, I mean, basically, it was all about the women that night. I had an all-women card, an all-Portuguese card, and the card with you guys, a couple of different ones there.
You
It
were
was,
throwing parlays left and right, buddy.
I know. It started off with a couple little bets, and then all of a
Yep.
sudden I'm like, "All right, what's happening?"
Drew was throwing combinations like Holloway.
I was driving around, and
like-
I'm like seeing 17 different outcomes. I'm like, "Oh my god, it's gonna take me 30 minutes to put all these in." The first like
tell you
20
what.
minutes at the party, I was sitting there on my phone. I'm like, "I'm not being rude. I got to put gambling bets in. Don't mind me."
I started off with the win from Rose, too, and I was excited. I'm like, all right, great, we're going to have an awesome night here.
Yep.
Setting the tone, and then our girl came up, and, we can't say the S word on the radio, so I'll just say she pooped the bed for us, man. She pooped the bed. So what happened there? I mean, you guys really liked her a lot. She was a big underdog on the bet gambling.
Oh, Paige Van
But
Zandt.
Yeah.
You guys are really pumped about her. So what happened with Van Zandt?
I mean, from my perspective, I mean, I wasn't that big on her. I think more so you. I mean, she's a great fighter, but whatever her corner told her to do, they were 90,000% wrong. She came out and looked like a deer in headlights and did not belong. You know what it reminded me of? Ronda Rousey's return,
Yeah.
where she just got embarrassed. I mean, she
When she had the rematch with Nunes.
yeah, it just looked, it was bad.
Nunes is just like
Deer in headlights, I mean-
I don't think anyone's gonna beat Nunes.
No.
She's gonna have to give up the title for her to lose.
Yeah.
But like she's just a next generation. Like
Yeah.
Anyway, but Paige Van Zandt, look, went in at plus 600, right? She's
No, it was plus. I think plus 800.
It was big.
at the start.
It was real big. She was coming back with from a lot of injuries, but she's been in UFC for a while now, since like the women actually started fighting. Like,
Yeah.
she's been there for a while, but she's still pretty young. She's like, I think she's like 28, 29. She's my age. And she's a lot more seasoned, and she's kind of been hurt a lot, and this was her first fight back in about a year. And I thought it was a good matchup for her until she looked like a deer in headlights. But
Really
yeah,
not a good
it was
matchup.
just I don't know if it was like the environment of Abu Dhabi or what Fight Island, because they were complaining a lot about slipping on the mat
Yeah, so
and it
that,
being
I was going to
humid
say
in
that.
there.
Yeah, there was a lot of complaints on that, but to me, like her reaction was dismal.
She just didn't
Yeah,
look
she
like she
didn't-
was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't really do anything on the ground, and she kind of like gave up like the arm. And
So,
then,
like, on paper, looking at the betting sheet, I was like, oh, God, this is absolutely a fight that she can win. And having her as our startup for the parlays would have been huge.
Yeah.
That's what gives us the huge payouts.
yeah,
on
I mean
that-
those
on
those
that.
payouts were only because of her.
It's all because of her.
Yeah,
I mean,
she was the big money. She was the big money payout, and you're right, Ryan. If we'd gotten that one and she started us off right, we would have been cruising to some big money.
Oh,
But
absolutely. That's why I was like,
Unfortunately-
if she loses, like, our whole night's screwed. We probably should have,
So she
gone another
killed
route
us,
too.
and then,
But
so she killed us, and then what was up with Holloway, man? What happened there?
well, I think we all saw Piotr Jan beating Jose Aldo. I think we all agreed on
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that was-
Aldo looked real
really
good in those
Bringing
first
back
three
in the
rounds.
kicks was big.
Amazing.
I mean,
he
he
looked real
tore
good.
Jan up with the kicks.
And he's still, like, Aldo's still like 32, 33. Like, he's not old.
I mean, that's the thing is he got in young. I think he started MMA 18, 19.
But Jan in that fifth round just kind of took over. And then
Yeah, I was a big Aldo fan back in the day. Not so much the other night. Obviously, Jan took care of him, put him to bed, and the rest is history. But tell me about Holloway, man. What happened there? I thought, he was another guy that we were going to see, some fireworks, and then I thought he had a good chance.
he got robbed, Drew.
Yeah.
He got absolutely robbed.
That-
The judges screwed him. I was telling Nick and Tim before the show started, I rewatched the fight last night by myself, sat down on the couch, and just watched it from an unbiased perspective. Watching a fight, like, after the hype and after it all happens is a completely different perspective. Like, I had Holloway easily winning round 1 and 2. No doubt in my mind. He could have probably won round 1 10-8, 10-9, if you think about it with those knockdowns. That high kick was insane.
Yeah.
Round 3, I gave slight edge to Volkanovski because he connected on a lot more significant strikes than Holloway did in round 3, even though Holloway could have easily won round 3 too. Round 4, I actually give to Holloway. I don't really put every time. This is where the judges there needs to be something done. Volkanovski took Holloway down twice, right? Mm-hmm. Twice in round 5.
yeah, twice.
But it's a takedown, but Holloway was up within 8 seconds of each takedown.
Yeah.
If you take a person down, you gotta establish your position when you take them down. If they're immediately back up, I don't think you should get too many plays.
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
You shouldn't get points for that.
I mean, again, the problem with the UFC too is it depends on the judges, and there's no way around that because it's gambling. So that's the issue they have, and they have people that come in that don't understand the sport.
Exactly.
They're given a basis of how they score it. You know what I mean? So if you see a scorecard and a takedown is 10 points or whatever the case may be, that's how they go by. So if the fall down happens and it shouldn't really be a takedown, and sometimes you don't even see the takedown on the board, they still score it that way.
Not to mention, Holloway controlled the pace of that fight pretty much the whole way through. He was controlling the octagon. He was applying the pressure most of the time.
Yep.
Like that should take precedence over any takedown.
Yeah, and
in my
I mean,
opinion.
and
So
he
he
had
just fell victim to the scores. He just basically
Yep,
the judges
absolutely.
said you didn't do as much as you needed to do.
Volkanovski definitely won the first fight. Definitely won the first fight. That's this rematch though that I think Holloway got robbed. I really do. And that's rewatching the fight twice over again and rescoring it and seeing it, like he should have easily won that by unanimous decision.
And now here comes the issue, right? And this is how the UFC is, where
And it was still
you
a
can
close
screw,
fight, but
and this is how the UFC works, where you can screw a fighter, right? Because now, if you're Holloway, and then they give you a third take on it, which they might not, but
They will.
He'll probably get a third take because it's a big money fight. It'll be one of the main cards again. He'll get the fight, and now he's going to have to play to knock him out because he can't play the score game. He's going to be worried about the score game the whole time. So he's going to get close. It's going to be way worse of a fight than the second one was because he's going to be up in his face way more, and the outcome won't be good. I'm telling you, if there's a third, I think Holloway's going to get murdered.
I think Holloway will still have a fight before he gets another title shot.
Oh, yeah, no, he'll have, one or two before, especially with how good he looked. I mean, he's going to dominate.
Yeah.
But I think get him back there, the outcome's probably going to be worse than the second time because he's going to have to get physical. He's going to have to fight for a knockout or something or, submission, or he can't rely on a scorecard.
It'll be interesting.
So that is going to be his
There'll
downfall.
a third match.
Yeah, I think so.
At some
that
point.
division is not that strong. There's not a lot of contenders.
Volkanovski, I can see other contenders. Ortega still deserves another shot at it, even though Holloway knocked him out. That was his first loss. Don't forget about the Korean Zombie. He's good too. He deserves
Yeah.
a shot at it. But
I mean, there's only I think maybe three guys. I mean, you name two of them, and Holloway that really have the right to go for it.
Holloway could also wait in the wings for the next title shot after whoever Volkanovski faces next.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think you'll probably see that matchup again, unless someone else takes him down. But I think you'll probably see a third. I don't really see anyone else beating him in the division. I think Holloway looked the best to do it, and I think obviously should have beat him. So I think that really is going to mess up Dana White. And I saw the outcome. You could tell with his face. He's like, now what do I do?
His post-fight interview, Dana was not happy with the decision at all.
Yeah, because you figure Holloway wins that right now. Now, how cool is the third take?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna have Volkanovski rip through the division again,
exactly,
and then come right back up for the third take at him. Both 1-1, same thing as like a Diaz McGregor. It's gonna sell big, but you got screwed there. So I don't know. Tim, you got any take on it?
Nope. Nothing at all.
How about the $200 that Masvidal lost you?
You shut your mouth.
So after the break,
Can I
we're
get
gonna
that
come
clip
back
first?
and talk about.
You want to know how I feel about that $200?
Yeah.
You want to know how I feel?
He says,
Let me tell you how I feel.
"Oh, I didn't do it. I can't do it because I have a break on the board. I was gonna hit it."
Ah, darn.
I
Then it hit a
don't
nice little-
like that
yeah.
kind of talk. Now, just stop it. It
Usman
upsets
just
me.
dominated the fight. Like, there's not really much to say.
No, I mean, like, the first round, I was like, oh.
First round looked good.
Okay.
Masvidal looked
This
pretty
is
good in
kinda
that first
promising.
round. Yeah.
And then.
You might even give the first round to Masvidal.
Yeah, I mean, I
might.
think I would.
I gave it to him,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
And then,
you know.
but from that point on.
which on the scorecard they gave
it was
to
like
him.
halfway through the second round. I was.
They gave
like,
him 2 on the scorecard.
Yep. If this was a boxing match, Masvidal would probably win. But
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you take away
That's
the
why
let's
this
go
is
to
mixed
the
martial
ground
arts.
and-
You know what, too? Sorry, going back to the Holloway thing. What really
Yeah.
ticked me off, right, was that split decision, and the third judge was so far off on the score from either of the first 2 judges that like really ticks me off. At least the second judge was almost identical scoring, just flipped. It was
Yeah.
close. Both got 2 rounds. 1 round decided it real close. The other guy said, that Holloway only got 2 rounds out of the 5. I don't know what he was smoking to get that. So.
I don't either.
Crazy. Coming back after the break, we're going to talk about how Tim lost $200 in Masvidal. We got a bunch more on the board. Tons of football talk. Baseball
Sox
coming back next week. So stay tuned. We'll be
baseball.
back.
And we'll talk about tonight's fights after the break.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah. We're back. So,
Daddy's home.
hot off the take, we got Drew on the line. Hey, just because Drew's on the line, we got another line here. So, 508-222-1320, calling on in. And, so Tim, tell us about that $200 loss, buddy.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right. I mean,
I-
listen,
Rant.
I'm a fool, but I'm not a complete fool.
Let's hear it.
All right. No, I sat there and I noticed that the line was at 210 plus 210, and Masvidal, he talks a big game, and I was like, you know what, 210's a good number for him.
They also hate each other.
Right.
Usman and Masvidal literally hate
Right.
each other.
So I figured a little bit more aggression would come out, and you saw peaks of it throughout the fight, and it got me excited. So I'm like, oh, here he goes. But it was only that quick burst, and obviously that's what Usman's trainer was saying as well. Like he wants to come out, quick burst. You just got to kind of weather the burst, and So I mean, I felt really good. I was sitting there at the at the cookout. I said, you know what? I'll throw $200 on it.
Why not?
I paid out $420 if it won.
Damn.
So I'm like, all right, you know what? It's a good bet. Jersey business is booming. Things are doing good. I'm all right.
Business is booming.
Yeah, and I'm like, and actually Nick is probably the biggest piece of what for the whole thing, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, do I throw down 200? I'm like talking out loud, and he's like, oh buddy, do it. It's just one jersey anyways.
Yeah,
just
so much
do
your
it.
profit on the
you're
jersey.
gonna make
One
it
jersey.
anyways.
Now-
now I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, you know what? True.
Now,
Then
anyone
it-
listening
don't
that
you love
buys
peer
jerseys
pressure?
like those mother.
Well, no, I mean, like I can make that money back quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I could always, get a jersey and flip it for, jerseys sell. That's the bottom line. Was what he was saying. So
Very true.
yeah, and I mean, I think just for anyone that's listening, I think I've given you a very fair price all the time, but that's
Very fair.
another story for another day.
Mm-hmm.
But I could definitely get one of these jerseys and put them on eBay for $400, $500, throw it in a frame, probably get $7. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
definitely there. So he's like, oh yeah, it's only one jersey. It's only one jersey, and I'm like, you know what? He's right.
I just didn't want to be the
Only
only
one
loser in the room,
only
you
one
know? I already had money on Masvidal, so I didn't want to be the only idiot.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, you know what? 200. I throw it in, and you know what? The whole ride home, the next day when we finally decided to leave, it was like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was a good time.
Yeah, there you go.
Just the whole ride home in silence. That was it.
See, for me, like, I give him credit because I wimped out, for lack of a radio-appropriate term. I had 100 on him, and I was like, something about it was like, I feel like this is the fight where Masvidal
suckered me. That's what it
embarrasses
was.
himself. So I only put 40 on him, and I put 50 on Holloway. I was like, I'll put some money in Holloway. So I put up 90 for them too, and then all the parlays. I mean, I lost like $140, but
Yeah.
I was gonna put up 100 on Masvidal. I only put 40. And I thought I had the money in the bag with Holloway. I'm like, oh, there we go. That's a good win right there. A couple $100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I got screwed.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the story of my $200 downfall. But you know what? That's gambling, right?
You win
And-
some, you lose some.
And honestly, scared money don't make money.
I'm curious to see what would have happened if Masvidal had a full camp. If he had a full
so
8
sorry.
weeks to prep
Yeah.
for the fight.
I'm sorry, because
I'd
now,
be curious. I would be curious.
speaking of gambling losses, right? So then I'm like, I lost 100 and whatever, 150 on UFC. Yeah, Sunday, I'm watching NASCAR.
Oh, here
I
we
got Truex Jr. I got Harvick. I got Keselowski.
You got Harvick leading the race.
I got
like the
I
whole
got
race.
12 laps left. I got first, second, and fourth place. Those are my three guys. I'm like, baby,
Here we go.
we're going. We getting this money today. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what I need? I need Truex because
We got a reenactment.
I need the better payout.
We
than
got a
Harvick.
reenactment of the Days of Thunder.
yeah.
Go on the outside. Here
Yep.
comes Cole Custer.
Yep. So I'm watching. And then I said, Drew says, you need Truex.
Man.
Oh,
Fires.
Truex comes ripping around. He's in first. I'm like, oh, man, better payout than Harvick. Oh, let's go. Maybe if Keselowski would scoot up and get first, I'll be even happier. Then all of a sudden, here comes Cole.
And then he
Yeah.
leaves everyone in the dust.
Leaves him in the dust.
See ya.
Truex is struggling to keep up behind. I'm like, dang, when that just happened.
That sucked.
Yeah, that really burned me.
Then we go to
I think we were texting back and forth, Nick, and I was
Yep.
like, hey, man,
Oh.
these guys are gonna do it for you. One of the two.
All-Star race is on right now.
I had
by
three.
the
I
way.
had Keselowski in fourth,
All-Star
too.
race.
So-
All-Star race is on right now. By the
so
way.
it gets even better. So we go to dinner on Sunday, and we went to Marquette's in Rhode Island. So we're getting ready to leave. I look over at him. I go, Man, I could definitely go to Twin River right now.
Yeah.
Just lost $200 not even 12 hours ago. Well, you know what? I could definitely go to Twin River right now. And he's sitting there. He's like,
Oh,
It's so
don't
bad.
tempt me. Don't
It's so
tempt
bad.
me. It took every urge I had to not turn that car to go right to Twin River.
Do you know how mad Giovanna was at me that night when I lost that money?
What money?
I lost $120.
What, Twin River?
No, on the fights.
You lost all the
on the
ba-
fights.
basically she made off.
See,
She
the
was just
empanadas.
like, you need to stop betting. I'm like,
Nah,
babe,
see,
I haven't been able to bet in 4 months.
Yes,
like
you're
what
doing
are
it
you
wrong.
talking about?
But you're doing it wrong.
You're usually conservative. The problem
I am.
See, when Drew put my bets in for me, that's great, right? $10, $15.
Fact.
When I have the app in my hand, and then I'm like, oh, look at all these odds
It's
and
the
all these.
power
games.
of the app.
Then I just dumped so much money.
Imagine if you lived in Providence.
No, so here's the thing.
If I lived in Rhode Island, it'd
I'm
be terrible.
happy my app is still down. I'm happy.
Here's the thing.
the more
Here's-
times you look at that stupid app, the more you want to bet.
Yep.
too.
Dude,
That's
you're not
the
even
worst part.
You're not even kidding.
Here's what you need to do.
So bad.
You need to when you get, go and get your app actually working again. You need to link a Squirrel account that she doesn't know about. That you funnel a
Well,
little
she
bit of money
probably
into.
listens, so
That's
now-
okay.
Oh,
That's
I
okay.
have a
She's
separate
smart.
gambling account. I have a
Okay.
savings account
So,
dedicated to gambling.
so you put a little bit in, right? So,
After I
so that
lost
way
that.
you don't have too much.
I'll tell you about
Just a
the
little
time
bit.
I lost $4,000 in
So
Vegas.
it's not truly a
Yeah.
savings account.
So it's not truly a Squirrel account. It's just a gambling account.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Well, he's like, it's a savings account. Do you really save?
Yeah, did you really save money?
I'll have to tell you the story about the time I
It's
lost
a spending
about
account.
$4,000 in
Let's not
Vegas when I went.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
hear it.
that was.
Let's hear it.
Or is it not radio appropriate?
It's not radio appropriate.
So
It's
top of the
really
hour
not.
while we're smashing down empanadas down our throat and
Save that.
Yeah.
Save that for a night of wings, man. We'd love to hear that story.
We'll save that for
Speaking
the
of-
for our unrated podcast or something.
Speaking of empanadas, tell me about how good those empanadas are.
We don't know yet. We're
No,
gonna
we're
know
not-
at the
we
top of the
haven't had
hour.
any yet. Well, so I think the final tally, she made 135 of them.
Your house must have smelled so good.
Dude, it still smells like fried food.
How many pounds of meat is that?
Dude, she ran out of beef.
So how many pounds
So,
did you buy?
that was the
she
in the
mixed in
middle?
for you guys. There's chicken and beef mixed in on you guys.
Oh man, I'm pumped now.
So she ran out. She bought, I want to say like 20 pounds of beef, give or take.
Jeez.
Yeah.
She made good money on them though.
Oh yeah,
margin wise.
She's only selling them for $2 a piece. Like, you know, that's
Yeah.
really affordable for everybody. And
Can't imagine that the cost was that much to make 135 empanadas.
yeah, she probably. I mean,
Good deal.
I think she spent about like $60 on.
When I used to get them in
Okay,
JP,
isn't bad.
But she bought like she went to Restaurant Depot.
Yeah,
because Restaurant
that's the way to do
Depot's
it.
open now.
That's the way to
for,
do it.
For for regular people, not just restaurants.
Yeah, I saw that.
She bought like bulk of meat
Wait,
Yeah.
I did tell you. I
at
told
like
you
$3
that. Why
a
haven't I
pound.
gone?
At like $3 a pound for
I'm
like
going.
beef.
So
Yeah.
the place I used to get them from in JP when I was on the route out there, they would charge $1.50 for them.
Oh damn.
And
Well, she bought the containers.
right,
and stuff
right,
like
right.
That too.
But at the same time, everywhere is doing them. Like, listen, you walk into any little little market, Joe's mom's corner store, whatever. She's doing them. So like the demand, it's not always high in certain areas. So I mean,
Yeah.
of course. But I think that it was like one lady or one guy, whatever, that was making them for like all the stores and just going and selling them to people. So I can
Yeah.
only imagine like what her profit margin was because
Yeah.
she's probably getting the stuff for pennies and she's getting all these stores to up front. And it's like, wow, that's such a good idea,
that is a great idea.
man.
Just for some extra cash.
Yeah.
She enjoyed doing it.
So
It was a
did-
lot of hard work.
So does she have an air fryer or did she put it in like a pot? Like,
Well, she fried it.
Really?
Like real. We have an air fryer.
yeah.
I don't know what it is, man. Air fryers don't.
I don't think they like.
You don't.
they don't
get
give you that
as much.
fry, yeah.
It's not like as crunchy.
Right, it's more like a
Yeah.
like a soft. I wouldn't want to say soggy, but it's like a soft fry.
She had her dad help her out because it's her dad's recipe,
Right,
you
right.
know, and everything. So now she has the system and she knows what she needs to buy next time, and
Huh.
you know she's got down pat. She said it was a lot of hard work, and she was in bed before midnight last
Oh
night.
yeah, well, I believe it.
You know,
What's up,
which
Cisco?
never happens,
I
but
believe it.
you know she enjoyed it,
I believe it.
which is good.
All right, so let's get this break out of the way. When we come back, we're gonna dip into some football,
Happy wife,
some
happy
brand
life,
new football
boys.
contracts,
Yeah.
and then in
Oh.
15 minutes, we're
Where
gonna
the
try some
heck do the Chiefs
empanadas.
get all their money
Hey,
from?
save that for 15 minutes. Dang it. We'll be back. Stay tuned. 508-222-1320. Call me.
Yerp.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in, MVP Sports Talk Radio. Got Drew on the phone. You there, Drew?
What's up, boys? I'm here.
There we go.
Podcasting, talking to some friends, a couple of people giving us shout-outs on the Drew Talk Sports podcast.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about ranch being the number one. No cheese.
Oh,
What's
man.
up with that?
Man, you hang out with some weird people.
2020 is getting even weirder.
Just when you
Hey,
think
look, what I
2020
tell
couldn't
ya.
get worse.
What
my
I tell
boy
you.
Francisco, repping Packer Nation, baby. Go Green Bay all day.
So I want to know, Francisco, wings, flats, or drums?
There you go.
Oh, man. That is the question. Hopefully he'll chime back in.
Hopefully.
But, hey, before the break, you guys were talking about those big bets. And we're talking about, heartbreaking losses that were losing us a bunch of money. And I really like the squirrel account idea, Tim. I think, I've kind of used that on myself in the past, where I've kind of had an account that I can just use to throw a couple of bets in, and I don't have to worry about any problems. But it's not so much that she doesn't know about it; it's just that it's on the side, so she can't dip into it. You know what I mean? That's really what it's about. It's all about not letting the missus dip in to the bookie money.
Exactly. I don't know if you saw that little change on the stream, but ranch over
That's
blue
nice.
cheese.
That's nice.
Come
That's
on
nice.
now.
No, so here's the thing, right? It's not. I mean, it's more so the less that she knows, the better you're gonna be. You know what I mean?
That's how it
As
goes.
far as you know what I mean? Because listen, she starts seeing, RI Sportsbook minus 20, minus 20, RI Sportsbook minus 100, minus 20, minus 30, plus 5,000, minus 20, minus 20. Wait a minute, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Then if you turn around and you just throw little deposits that, once, maybe a week, once a month out of the squirrel account into the checking account. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's the money I make gambling. Oh, so now she's like, oh, wow, he's actually making money. Wow.
Right, Steve?
Wow. Oh, yeah, baby. I only bet on stuff that I know for sure is going to win.
See, Chris is on par here on the feed. He said drums, and he said ranch for barbecue, blue cheese for buffalo.
See?
Exactly.
All right,
He
Chris.
knows
I
the
like
deal.
half you, Chris. I just don't like you all the time.
All right, but we talked about wings. Let's dab into some sports. Tons of contracts. Last week we sat here and talked about the Kansas City Chiefs spending dumb money on Mahomes.
And just when you
Fast
thought it
forward a
couldn't
week
get
later.
any stupider.
I guess the Brinks trucks are backing up again
Chris Jones?
they decided to pay Chris Jones.
Hold on.
Who made how many errors in the Super Bowl?
That's not the Brinks truck. That is not the Brinks truck. That is the foreclosure truck backing
Yeah,
up. Get
that
ready
is
to close up shop.
Fair enough. Well,
Dude,
I don't know what they're gonna do.
realistically, they're in trouble. What are they going to do?
So that just tells me there's 0% chance that they sign Sammy Watkins again this year.
Where's their money coming from?
That's what I'm saying.
Let me answer a couple
Don't they have?
questions.
They got to pay Tyreek. They're still paying Travis Kelsey, right?
Let me answer a couple of questions. Remember last week we were talking about Mahomes and he got all this big money and what's going to happen and yada, yada, yada. And are they going to be good for the next 10 or 12 years? So one of the things that I talked a lot about was, hey, look, they've got to draft well. So, look, they can afford to pay Chris Jones a lot of money. They can afford to pay Mahomes a lot of money because they've got a GM and an ownership group and a team of executives that know how to draft. They can bring in players on the cheap. Look at Mahomes right now. I mean, other than this extension, he's playing on the cheap. He's on his rookie contract.
Hey, Drew.
they're gonna be
He's
able
on the
to bring
rookie
those guys
contract
in,
for the next, 2
put
years?
money around them.
So, Drew, here's
Yeah.
my only problem with that, okay? This reminds me a lot of the Seattle situation, right? Seattle drafted incredibly well. They got their quarterback in Russell Wilson.
The Legion of Doom.
Yep. But what happens? Injuries happen. People fall off, right? Management leaves, right? There's no saying that, if Cleveland was to call up this guy and say, hey, you know what, whatever you're getting paid, we're going to pay you double, that he's not going to stay there, Things happen that you can't just put all your chips in a basket and say, you know what, we're going to be fine.
no,
We
there
got
is
Patrick
actually a
Mahomes.
reason why that can't happen, Tim. It's called a contract. He has a contract. He has to abide by that contract. Cleveland can't just call up and say, hey, GM over there, I want you to come be GM over here because he has a contract, so he has to live up to that contract.
Yeah, but you see it in multiple different sports.
Yeah, but man, When you sign a contract, you go and you do that job until the end of your contract.
All right, but hold on.
all
Here's a
right,
good
so
take.
Cleveland calls.
He tweets something racist tomorrow. He's gone.
Yeah, or what happens?
Contract,
to this?
no contract.
What happens to this? Cleveland calls. Hey, I'm going to give you 5 first-round picks for your GM. Look what happened with Belichick. He got cash and first-round picks.
Well, that's a completely different story, man. You're talking about trading for a guy.
But what I'm telling you is, if you're putting all your all your chips in and saying, "Oh, we're going to be fine because we've got," I think I don't even know who it was. We're going to call him Scott over there. We got Scott. Scott's a great GM. You know, he's absolutely great. All that, and then someone calls and says, "Hey, we're going to give you 5 first-round picks and $100 million for Scott." You're going to sit there and go, "Oh, I can't do that." No, because look, the Giants did that, and where have the Giants been since, besides the 2 Super Bowls?
So first of all, the guy's name is Brett Veach.
Yeah, that guy.
He is the GM for the Chiefs.
That guy.
And he's the guy that's in charge of making all the picks over there. So he, he's doing his thing.
What happens when Andy Reid retires?
So we'll see what happens. He's a young dude. He's not going anywhere.
Andy Reid?
This sounds like a good betting opportunity.
I'm just saying.
Andy Reid, that's a whole other
I'm just saying, when you're going to put yourself...
You're talking about not being able to do anything because they're paying these 2 guys. I'm telling you that they've got an executive team that can make picks and rebuild that team without having to spend a lot of money.
I don't know, we're on different wavelengths here because I'm still
And
saying...
also, keep in mind, and this is a great point that my buddy Cisco just brought up, keep in mind, $140 million. That's what Pat Mahomes is guaranteed. He may never see the rest of that $450, $500 million.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. He's not only guaranteed $140 million. He's guaranteed $450 million. The contracts are $503.
Dude, the whole contract at $450 is definitely not guaranteed.
It's $450 million
Contract
guaranteed.
in total is 503.
It's $503 with incentives and bonuses. Yeah, look it up, man. Look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
10 years, 400. So you hold on. So you mean to tell me that someone out there believes that Patrick Mahomes only got $15 million guaranteed per season? It's a 10-year deal. There's no way. If you think that, you're off your rocker. I'm sorry.
I don't think you're putting that at 20% guaranteed. Would be what you're saying.
Not to mention after you pay all your taxes and all that. Yeah. No.
Here you go. I'm looking at it right now. So let me read it to you right off of the ESPN website. Let's see here. Hold on. It's jumping all around on me. Why is it jumping around? Okay. League sources say the deal's worth $450 million.
That was prior.
No. That's an injury guarantee.
Could be worth up to $503. The extension includes a $140 million injury guarantee.
Correct. Injury guarantee. So if he gets injured, he still gets $141 million guaranteed. That's it. So if he doesn't get injured, he's still guaranteed $450 million. So that's like if he gets Mark Savardin and he can't play anymore, the league's still on tap for $140 million, which that's even worse. So you mean to tell me that Patrick Mahomes, who was hurt 3 times last year because of his ankle, there was a question if he was even going to be able to play the half the season, is now has this contract buyout where if his ankle explodes like Joe Theismann's leg, he gets paid. So now you've got no franchise quarterback. You've got a guy that you're paying $14 million per season guaranteed to sit at home and talk to his annoying girlfriend, okay? And now you still don't even have a quarterback. So where are you as a team?
Yeah, you're going to be doing a lot of rebuilding.
And that's a take for you, baby. Listen, I hope that they're down in the lottery because they're going to need a lot of good guys to stay relevant.
How many
guess
years
what?
is the extension for Chris Jones? One question.
It's 5 years.
5 years
$125?
starting this season.
Yeah.
With,
right?
No, I think it's
it
next
starts
year
next
because
year.
this is his last year.
Okay, so starting in 2021.
Yeah.
Right. So, but here's the big problem, okay? If you have injuries for those 2 guys, you already have, let's see, so you got 45 mil plus, was it 25 mil? You've got $70 million tied up in 2 players. Mm-hmm. Okay, so even if the cap numbers, man's at 210, right,
That's
which
exactly
is
what
not
I'm
going to
looking
be
at right now.
It's not going to be 210 because it's 210 now, and it's going to go down. We
It's
already know
It's
that.
going to be about 100.
It's going to be probably about
On
100.
your best day, it'll be 160. On your best day, but it's probably
Yeah.
going to be 140.
I'll do you one better and give you 170. Okay, so you've got over a third of your salary already tied up to 2 guys.
You have a third of your real-time salary tied up in 2 guys.
And let's be honest, was Chris Jones really that good?
No.
How
because
many,
how did he do
times
against
was he
the
money he
offsides in
got?
the Super Bowl? He was offsides 4 times.
Forget
in
the
Super Bowl.
offsides. Wasn't he the one that went offsides against Brady when they had the pick?
Yeah, no,
In
he
the- in
was.
the
Yeah,
AFC
no, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
So
was offsides like 3 times in the AFC.
What's the exact point that you and Drew are debating right now?
Just stupidity of paying.
the stupidity of paying these
Okay.
guys because he thinks that they're gonna be able to build through the draft. I don't think so.
So, Drew, you think it's smart for what the Chiefs are doing right now?
I think it's smart to lock up a quarterback that's that talented and pay him money over 10 years. Yeah, absolutely.
So what about the guys? What about the guys that protect that guy? What about them?
Yeah, what about him? Again, you draft the third
When are they going to get
round-
paid? So
draft the
you're
third round
comfortable.
tackle.
What? All right. So
You got
Drew.
the
So what
third
you're
round
telling me?
tackle.
You're comfortable rolling out your Rolls Royce, okay, and putting an AutoZone $20 car top on it in the middle of a blizzard. That's okay with you? You're okay with that?
You think I'm going to get that AutoZone top in the third round?
Do you think that they're going to get anything better?
Fourth round?
How many? All right, here's a real
There's
thing.
been a lot of players that have been drafted by teams in the third, fourth, fifth round that have turned out to be pretty darn good players.
Well, yeah, that's because you got to develop, though. But are they going to be able to develop?
One of them for the last 20 years here in New England.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
but that's
Tom
because
Brady.
they were able to develop him and put a system around him.
How many offensive linemen have come in and been top tier? Not even top tier. Let's say we'll go by a Madden ranking, right? 80 overall or better.
Dude, there's
in the
one
first
in Kansas City. Eric Fisher, he was hyped up. Guy's a bum.
No,
He's a bum. In short order, he's a bum.
they have nobody.
And I'm sorry.
My perspective is you have three guys that are going to want money coming up, and you just paid a guy that jumped off sides 7 times in the 2 most important games of their season. He got paid. So now if you're Travis Kelce, how come Jones gets
Hold on.
70, 100 million? What do I get? Nothing. Because
No,
they don't
we're
have
not
money.
talking just Chris Jones, man. Look who's coming up for them. Okay, number 1, you got the Honey Badger. Number 2,
Yeah, Honey Badger's
Fuller.
gone. Can't
Fuller's
pay him.
contract.
Don't worry about it.
Fuller's
Can't pay him.
contract is coming up.
can't pay your
Frank
defensive
Clark.
leader.
Frank Clark.
You know who you pay? You pay your leader. So now you've just said that Jones is the leader on defense. Oh, great example for your drafted defense you're going to build up because the guy can't stay on sides. Should have let him go. Told Honey Badger right there, we're going to pay you.
The Chiefs' window.
your leader.
The Chiefs' window is 2 years.
Hey, just
At
The
best.
next
I wanna
2
go back
years.
to the, I want to go back to the contract. So here's the real guaranteed money in Mahomes' contract. It's $141.428 million guaranteed over 12 years, and that's it. He was guaranteed $63.082 million at signing, and the rest is the 141 over the 12 years. So that's where he's at. Is guaranteed. So don't tell me that they won't renegotiate that contract down the road if something crazy happens. And then again, to your point, he has an injury clause in there. So if he does get hurt, they cash in on the insurance, they bang out that money, he gets paid, and they wipe the books of it. I'm not worried about it. But look, Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league right now, guys. I know
right.
you don't like him. You're not a fan.
Here's the big issue that I
Guy is
have.
the best.
You can talk about guaranteed money. You can talk about whatever you want. The bottom line is raw numbers at the end of the day. Okay, he has at minimum a $40 million salary cap hit
Starting in
at
2023.
Minimum.
Starting in
At
2023.
minimum, okay.
Starting in 2023.
Right. So he's got to be before that. Then
You've got 3 years.
That's the worst. No,
got
that is
3
that
years.
is the worst part.
after 2025, it will never dip below $40 million. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you have until
Dude,
then.
he's got a $60 million cap hit in 2027.
Yeah.
$60
but that's fine.
million.
That's fine. The issue here is when you have a salary cap that's set at 160, this guy is getting 40 million of that at minimum. That's a big issue. And if you're not concerned with that, I don't know why.
If I was a KC fan, I'm pissed.
They-
I wouldn't pay that money for Tom Brady if he told me I could get his clone brother in 2002. Right now, today, I wouldn't pay that money.
I didn't mind the
So many things are
I'm
gonna
with
happen.
I'm with Drew on the Mahomes deal. I like locking him up long term.
Long
For
term.
that.
Yeah, I like long-term too,
Because
but I don't like
give
the
him-
number.
So right now,
$198 million for this year.
you do it now because when his rookie contract is up, how much is he going to be worth then? Assuming the salary cap keeps
You
increasing
mean to
year
tell me
after
you
year.
think any other team in the NFL would pay him that money?
No,
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Look, okay, here right now. Cap number.
After his rookie year is over, absolutely.
No.
Cap number after. So this year for 2020, it's 5.3. Okay. Next year for 21, it's 24.8. Then it goes to 31.4, and then it starts 42.4, and it just starts going up.
So even the 20 is a big hit.
It gets crazy after 2025.
The problem is they're not re-signing Sammy Watkins this year. He's done. They're going to cut him. They have to. There's no.
They don't need him. They don't
So
need
they
him.
cut him.
They don't need him.
Okay.
Yeah, but Cole
So then
Hart-
you got by the time the biggest salary.
Here's the thing.
Salary hits. You got 3 guys who are going to want more money.
No, here's where the money, the difference is. This isn't incentive based where if he plays such and such. Okay, it's real simple. If he makes the team by the final cuts, the money becomes fully guaranteed. So you mean to tell me that this team is going to look in the next 4 years at Patrick Mahomes, unless he gets hurt, and they're just going to say, yeah, you know what, we're just going to cut you. No.
No, they won't
Because
do
then
that.
they look like idiots for giving him the big contract that he already got. Not to mention, okay, I can cut him now, or we could do the injury side of it, and we could pay him $14 million a season guaranteed, or we're going to pay him his full contract at $40 million a season. Either way, man, you overpaid.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, oh yeah, you know what, the 141 is just guaranteed, and that's the bottom line. No, it's real simple. He makes the roster, he gets the $40 million a season, or 45, whatever it is.
Tim, what's the franchise tag number for a quarterback for this year?
31 and a half.
31 and a half.
31 and a half.
Yeah.
Do you think so Dak Prescott's going to play for that probably this year, right?
Yes,
Because I
he
don't
is,
think
yeah.
signed a contract today. I don't think he signed one today.
Yeah, no, they
So he's
didn't.
going to pay for 31.
No,
Do
they
you
came
think
down to
Pat
the wire.
Mahomes- Do you think Pat Mahomes is worth a little bit more money than Dak Prescott? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Do you think he's worth $8 or $9 million?
Yeah, but
more?
here's the thing though. You're comparing it to someone who's expecting money that they shouldn't receive. Do you think that Dak Prescott is worth $31 million? Because I don't. I'd have him at probably about 18 to 22.
So what I'm trying to get at is that's an
Right, but you can't do that because that's me sitting here saying that Dak deserves that money because he doesn't.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is, use it as an example. That's the average of the top salaries in the league for quarterbacks.
Right, but that's what I'm
the
saying.
average.
He's not even worth
What I'm
that.
telling you is, you think I don't care.
Who's another
if
quarterback that
Dak
got-
Prescott's the guy playing for $31 million? I don't care if it's whoever. Is Pat Mahomes worth more than that average to his team? And I think he is.
I
Well,
agree.
yeah, they wouldn't have won the Super Bowl without him. That's a
I
given.
agree.
Yeah.
Just what, like,
But this doesn't come down to if he's worth the contract or not. What this comes down to is it worth it for the team for the contract?
salary
Can
cap.
they stay competitive? Can they put a team around him? Do they have the
they can.
pieces? Because I don't think they can. Because look where they were before they had the talent that they had here now.
for the next 3 years they can.
And guess what? You can have Pat Mahomes. You can have Pat Mahomes. If there's nobody to throw the ball to, he's not as half as good as he is.
Let's say nothing changes. Let's say the cap stays exactly where it is. At, let's call it $200 million because it's close to $200 million. Right? Nothing changes in the next few years, and Mahomes is getting paid $40 million. Do you mean to tell me with $160 million a year you can't put a team around him?
No,
No.
not with the contract they just gave Chris Jones.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Not with the
that,
contract they
that's
just
the
gave
issue
Chris
I
Jones.
have. is-
Dude, okay, so let's put Chris Jones in there. What's he making, $20 million a year?
Yeah, so it's $70 million between your quarterback and your defensive tackle.
Oh, it's 70. 20 and 40 is 60.
Okay, first off, he's getting 25, and Mahomes is at 40 to
You
45.
guys said yeah.
So I'm just giving a round number.
So that's fine. So let's call 70. So you're telling me for $130 million you can't put a team around them?
No,
No.
What?
Your average contract in the NFL right now ranges anywhere from 7 to 20. Like
you're going
20
to go
million.
30 on Tyreek.
the cap
Holy crap!
and the
got
cap
100.
hits. The cap hits are going to be significant.
You got a left tackle who's
think
going
about
to
it.
chew
You've
up
got your
15,
linemen,
20.
You've got your your linebackers. You have a cornerbacks, your safeties. You have your running back. Like there's other pieces
Not-
here. That's
not-
first off, they got really lucky last year with Damian Williams. Really lucky because if that guy wasn't half the player he was, they are absolutely screwed.
Not to mention, how many draft picks do they have? They're going to draft an entire team because 9 out of 10 of these guys won a Super Bowl. They're going to get paid.
Yeah, and here's the
fact.
problem. At the end of the day,
They're
when you
losing a lot of
finish
these
higher,
guys.
you get a crappier pick. New England's seen it. They don't always find the great talents and things like that. But guess what?
New
The
England doesn't
talents-
pay a lot of money to a lot of guys
Right,
either.
but you know what?
The only person that's
when you're
getting
a
paid
high
on the
pick-
Patriots right now is Gilmore.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the biggest
Exactly.
contract they have.
But that's why they stay competitive.
Exactly.
You look at
You're
the
not gonna see
history.
that in KC.
Look at the history of all these teams, man, that have put all their money in the basket of 2-3 players. They haven't won anything. Nothing.
That's why KC's window
Tell me,
right now.
tell me the last
is
team.
3 years.
Tell me the last team that said, you know what, we're going to pay our 3 top guys, and we're going to, this isn't Miami Heat. Okay, this is not the NBA where you can, get your big 3 and put a bunch of old vets around them and just hope and pray that things work, and they actually do. Okay, the game is way different than that. There has not been a team in the last 10 years that I could think of that said, yep, they had their 3 big guys. and now everybody's all
Drew,
set
here's
to go.
my last question before we hit the break. By competitive, what do you mean by competitive? Like with the $130 million that you have left over, what do you mean by competitive? Like a playoff team or like a Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, they'll be a playoff team because they're in a weak division. The Chargers ain't doing anything anytime soon. The Broncos are falling off. I mean, yeah, they've kind of rebounded a little bit. And I don't think that the Raiders are going to be what they're hyped up to be.
What do you mean by competitive,
You were
Drew?
the biggest Raiders fan last year. All you wanted
No,
to do was
I wanted them to be
how awesome the Raiders
successful.
were gonna be.
I want them to be
Number one.
successful.
Number two, the Broncos just drafted half of the top wide receivers in the college freaking draft.
Who's throwing to him?
And they've got a
Who's
kid
throwing
that's
to him?
all over the field.
Who's throwing to
And
him?
they just signed Melvin Gordon.
Who's
Oh,
throwing
my
to
God.
him?
Take your break.
Who's throwing to him?
Did you meant playoff contenders,
Drew
competitive,
Lock.
right?
All right.
It'll be the Green Bay Packers 2.0.
With that,
Don't do that
Essentially
to
what
him.
the Chiefs
with
are.
that,
do that
I'm
to
taking
him.
the top of the hour break. Goodbye. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
need
It's
that
gonna be a long break. Stay tuned. We'll be back. Oh yeah, we're back. Killed my own mic there.
you
Kick
go.
it off
Yeah,
strong.
boy.
Got Drew back on. Kick it strong. Coming right back into it. Tim, what we got over there?
Yeah. Let's get it.
So we're keep rolling here on salary talking KC. So over the break, I was peeking. Right now, they're at 238. They are $28 million over before they've re-signed anybody else. They haven't paid their first round picks yet. None of that. They got $10 million dead cap, and that's 28 if this year we start right on cue at 210. If not, if they go down to we'll say 170.
Hold on. The salary cap is set at 198 this year.
All right, so even worse. So they
boy.
are
Yeah.
30.
They got some salary dumping to do. Let's
Yeah.
talk. We'll
So
say that much.
So they're 40 mil over.
Now hold on. So here is a good point about the Chris Jones deal. So the Chris Jones deal actually allowed them to gain salary cap for this year and over the next few years.
Because they tagged him, and the contract doesn't
Right.
kick in until next season.
Right. So they technically saved money doing the deal with Chris Jones. Problem is, again, you have guys like Tyreek Hill that are only at a $910,000 base salary. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can get away with things like that. But when all these guys want to get paid, like, listen, no matter what we agree on about the Chris Jones deal or the Patrick Mahomes deal, I like to think that we're all pretty knowledgeable here, that we can agree on that this Kansas City Chiefs team is going to have to fall apart for things to, go down the road they're going. Because all these guys aren't going to sit here and say, yeah, I'll just stay here and not get paid, because that's not sports. It's never been, and it never will be. So you're going to see guys either like Tyreek Hill or, the Travis Kelce's or, the people like that. They're going to have to go.
The Damian Williams.
They can't pay everybody. They can't.
The Nicole
everyone's
Hartman
gonna- yeah.
won his rookie deal.
Yeah, like what's going to happen if he blows up?
Yeah.
3 years, now you're paying him.
There's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, there's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of ifs. And I think that these two deals, as high as they did, it put them in a bad position as a franchise to keep themselves in a, hey, let's stay competitive enough to where we have a chance every year.
Hey, how many big name free agents have the Patriots signed over the last, let's say, 10 or 15 years?
10 or 15 years?
10 or 15, yeah.
Big name free agents?
The short answer is not too many, right?
I usually average one every 1 or 2 years.
No.
Well, 10, 15 years, so you're thinking...
I would say
you-
between
Randy
5 and 10.
Moss.
Yeah, but that was a trade, though. You had Gilmore.
No, that's right. Really
But they still had to sign him.
Yeah.
Gilmore's one I can think of.
Gilmore, definitely.
Gilmore's one.
You had
Cam
Corey
Newton.
Dillon.
Stone.
Cam.
Antonio
Cam
Brown
doesn't
was
count, though.
kind of bigger at the time.
No, I mean, I get where he's coming from. But again, when you have someone like Tom Brady, who's a team-first guy, who's taking hometown discounts left and right, doesn't care about getting paid, he wants to win, he wants to build his brand, he wants to build his culture, that helps you. When you have a guy like Tom Brady making $7 million on your cap hit, that helps you. We're not talking 45 or 40 million or even 35 or even 30. You have a guy that's getting 7 to 12 million on your cap hit up until last year when he was getting 20 million. That helps you. That's why you can go out and pay guys like Stephon Gilmore and pay guys, like the Julian Edelmans of the world, or go out and get these guys late, like Josh Gordon and things like that. These pieces that you think can help you. When you're going to be financially capped, you can't go get these pieces.
So
Things become tougher.
So Chris Jones on that defense plays inside outside.
Yeah.
What big name pass rushers can you think of in the past 5 years who have gotten paid
Yep.
and have produced?
I mean, I would think maybe, if anything, Von Miller, and that's very rare because I don't think that J.J. Watts performed up
So
to his
Von Miller
contract
got
either.
paid.
Yeah,
How's the Broncos doing right now?
correct.
There's that.
Correct.
How about you went back? You talked about it a few minutes, a while ago.
Talking about Seattle?
The Giants.
Yeah.
Olivier Vernon.
Yeah.
They paid him.
What about JPP?
They paid him.
What
They
about
paid him
JPP?
too.
Yeah.
They
Didn't do
paid
nothing.
him too. These pass rushers that are getting big contracts aren't producing.
You know what this all comes down to? Okay? This all comes down to there's no I in team. You don't win with just one guy. You don't win with just two guys. You need 11 guys on both sides of the ball. Every
Not
day.
including special teams.
Every day, working together, that all click. And you can have a $35 million quarterback.
Do we view Chris Jones as a top tier pass rusher?
No.
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Drew?
To be, yeah, let's take Drew.
I think on that team, He's an integral part of that.
We can't say on that team though, because you put him on a
No,
different team.
just in general. Is
And they
he?
needed to pay. No, but we can't take it out of the context of that team because it's all about how he fits on that team. Just like you just talked about how Tom Brady took less money and fit onto the Pats teams in the past. We have to talk about Chris Jones and how he fits onto the Chiefs. So, do I think it makes sense for them to pay him that money? Yeah. Yeah, he's made some mistakes. Yeah, he made a boneheaded move. While you guys were on your break, I was talking on my live feed about how Tom Brady made the Super Bowl 9 times. He lost 3 of them. He was the greatest of all time, continues to be the greatest of all time. Even great players make mistakes, and they don't win all the time. So, look, I think it made sense to sign the guy to the contract. Now, does it give him a lot of cap room down the road? No. But again, Tyreek Hill, they're not going to re-sign that guy. He's gone. In 3 years, when that deal is done, unless they find a way to crunch those numbers again,
2 years.
he's gone. He's walking.
So do you not think that he's a big part of their
Not coming
offense?
back. What's that?
So you don't think that he's a big part of their offense?
Oh, no, I think he's a huge part of their offense.
So what happens when they take him out of that?
Was Wes Welker a big part of the Patriots?
Yeah, but
offense?
Wes Welker was replaceable. You found Julian
Did they
Edelman.
pay him? Oh, you don't think Tyreek Hill's replaceable?
Yeah, but
Wes
our
Welker-
offense wasn't only around Wes Welker, is what I'm telling you.
Wes Welker caught over 110, 150.
Right,
passes.
right. But you mean to tell me that if you put someone else in that spot that they couldn't do that?
No,
There's not too many guys.
do that.
There's not too many guys that can come in and show the speed.
Wes Welker is not Tyreek Hill.
No.
That's the point.
No, and there's not too many
My
guys
point
that.
is, my
Do you-
point is
do
not
you-
that there's going to be another guy that can run a 4.2. My point is,
Yeah, but that's not the
another
only
guy
issue though.
they
The
can
issue
bring
is that
in
you
and
have
pay him.
when defense play Tyreek Hill, they have to have a safety over the top for help. Nobody is going to be stupid enough to say, "Hey, let's just go man to man with
Honestly,
Tyreek Hill."
they can
not
live.
going to happen.
They can live without Tyreek Hill.
No,
they can live without him.
Can they win
Can
a
they
different
win?
way?
Yes, but your offense has to
Can they
change.
win
They can
different
win,
way?
and they can win without Tyreek Hill.
How many times?
Travis Kelce's more important to that offense than
fine,
Tyreek Hill
fine.
is.
But how many times has Mahomes gotten into trouble and it's bailed him out because he's had Tyreek Hill completely wide open because he just ran around the field?
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't understand. Like, number one, when you can't pay
understand. I
people,
watched it in
you
the
can't
Super
pay
Bowl.
your offensive line.
I watched it in the Super Bowl. He was standing in the middle of the field wide open. And
Yeah, we
Mahomes
also
threw the ball downfield to him. I get it. I
Yeah.
understand it. But he's not the only player in the league that he can throw the ball to.
So you don't
There are
think so?
other
So okay.
players.
So Drew, so just hear me out because if this is the fact, then I'm just gonna let it be. So you don't think that Tyreek Hill's a game changer? You don't think that defenses have to plan for him and say, "Oh my God, what happens if
Nope.
this happens?"
Nope.
You think the teams just go in and they just say, "Yep, we're gonna play the
Any of
Chiefs
that.
with Patrick Mahomes."
Nope. Did not say any of that.
Okay, so
I
he's
said
a game
They're not
changer.
going to pay Tyreek Hill.
So he changes the
That
offense.
Is that good? They're not going to pay him, and they'll find somebody else to come in and play for less money. That's what I'm telling you.
I don't know about
It's like
that.
the Patriots did for the past 15 years.
The Chiefs aren't the Patriots though.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
they're not,
not
but
to
the
mention
Patriots-
when you got
The
Edelman.
Patriots have been the model for the rest of the league for 20 years.
Okay,
guys.
so they've been the model
You
for the rest of the
think
league.
the
How
other
did they do
GMs
it?
don't get it?
How did they do it? Did they overpay one of their players? Did they overpay two of their
No.
players? No, correct. And that's why they stayed competitive. If the Patriots would have paid Tom Brady $40 million, they wouldn't have had half the wins that they had. They wouldn't. Because you know what?
do you do?
Half
What
the
do you do
defenses
if-
won those
so
games.
let me ask you this. What do you do if you're the Chiefs? Do you not pay Pat Mahomes?
I wait until his deal.
I agree
First
with you
off-
on the Pat Mahomes
No,
thing.
I
definitely
and
don't
get
do
that.
10 years.
And I get that. I definitely don't go 10 years, and I definitely don't open up the bank like they did like that. I give him a fair market. So you tell me if you're going to get 31, hey, I got 35 million for you.
$140 guaranteed contract.
But you're not understanding. It's not because if he's on the roster, it's going to be guaranteed money. There's not
If
guaranteed.
he's on the roster.
Okay, so then it's going to be 450 million guaranteed then.
No, it's not. Look at the numbers. He
Look
just
up the
said-
numbers. If he's on the roster, it's a roster bonus. It's fully guaranteed for the dead. I'm sorry,
What
for
if
the
he's
cap
not on the
space.
roster, Timmy Tim?
Okay,
What
so
if
then
he's
you're
not
telling
on
me
the
you're going to pay him $14 million that he's not even going to play.
Why would they pay him 14?
What else are they going to cut him
Well,
for?
here's the
What
thing.
else are they going to cut him for?
Here's
It's
the
dead
thing.
cap money. It's dead
They're
cap
not.
money.
They're not going to cut him, Drew.
Let me
It's
ask you this.
$14 million if
Let's
they
say
cut him,
Mahomes plays-
regardless.
Here's
let's
the
say Mahomes
point.
plays-
We're
let's
not.
use your numbers. Let's use your numbers, right? Let's say Mahomes plays for 5 years
Yep.
and he gets paid $140 million. That's only $28 million a year.
No.
If he worth $28 million a year.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, where are you getting 28 from? Number one. Number two,
First of
if
all,
he's not on the
140 divided
roster,
by 5 is 28. 140 million. That's what he's guaranteed.
he's got a 10-year
That's all
deal.
he's ever gonna get.
No. It's 140 if they cut him for an injury. Other than that,
No.
if he's
28 140 is his
All
game.
right, regardless, we're talking about if they cut Pat Mahomes, which you just said that's who they're building around. So, and they have nobody. They
Yeah, so let's say he sucks in 5 years then.
Yeah, so they have nobody because they got rid of every other stud to keep one guy that didn't perform in 5 years. That is the issue I have with a 10-year contract. You're going to give him 10 years. If he sucks in 3, if he sucks in 4, if he sucks in 5, if he sucks in 6, they still don't have anybody else because they had to cut him for the guy that sucks. That's why you don't give someone a 10-year contract in the NFL. If he breaks his femur next year, never plays a game again, they have 3 guys they can't re-sign and they got rid of because Pat Mahomes, a kid who was out 3 times in 1 season.
They're still paying Eric Berry.
Yeah,
as well.
$10 million on Eric Berry. Where is he? He's not suiting up. He's gone.
Listen, I'm reading this right now.
Dead money.
So we can settle this. Mahomes' deal has $63 million fully guaranteed. Okay, that's due at signing. Here you go, $63 million.
Signing, when he signs.
When he
Correct.
Okay, listen. Though plenty more is practically guaranteed, and 141 million in injury guarantees. That does not say there's only 141 million guaranteed. That means if he's injured, he is guaranteed 141 million.
I'm just gonna say this:
Guaranteed.
they have 3 guys on their roster. 3. They are the 3 most expensively paid guys. That's Mahomes, Clark, and Jones. Those 3 guys are the only guys that are playing right now, contracted past 2023. So they have 2 years, maybe 3, to get everything done. Because after that, they're screwed. They have an entire roster that they're already going to be 38 mil behind on. Actually, sorry, 34 behind on coming into this season. Next year, it'll be 28 million they're behind on. And that's not including the guys they have to re-sign next year. I mean,
assuming that
50% of this roster is 2021. They got to re-sign.
we can't assume that they're going to want to. Mahomes is going to want to renegotiate his contract down the road.
So here's my question.
Assume that.
Here's my question: why isn't it backloaded? Why isn't it backloaded?
That's a good question.
That
Because
right
they're
there.
paying the roster bonuses, Tim.
So the
What's
roster.
that?
So
hold on. I want to hear that. What, Drew?
They're paying him in roster bonuses.
Okay, so
here's
so
his
why isn't it
actual-
backloaded?
It is, and let me
It's-
read this to you, and you'll understand what I'm saying. So here's his actual salaries over the next few years.
Yep.
Okay. So,
Give me after
so
the
I'm
next 2
talking
because I
about
know
the
he's
next
still
2
in his
years.
rookie deal. So give me
Next
after the
2
next
years,
2.
through 2021 is still his rookie year, right?
Yep.
Okay, so his actual base salary for 2022, $1.5 million, with a $27 million roster bonus if he's
Yep.
on the roster. All right, so if they cut him, they don't owe him that money.
they're not going to cut him, Drew. They're not going to cut him.
Okay,
Why would they
so
give him
my
that
point
much
is-
guaranteed money and then cut him?
My point is they don't have to pay him that money if they
No,
cut
no,
him.
all right. Yeah, like I said, that's fine. It's not a bad point. But I'm saying is that is your basket. Forget putting all your eggs in the basket. The entire basket is Pat Mahomes. If the basket rips, breaks, falls, stumbles, they throw it away, they cut it. Some guy steals the basket, they're toast.
The
So
team
here-
is
okay,
relying on him.
Because
So here's
What
the
year do
next
you think
deal.
He's going to get hurt, Nick. What year do you think he'll get hurt?
well, I mean, in that case, then I'd be a good betting man. But I
Right.
mean, he got injured 3 times this year, so I'd likely say next season.
All right, so we're going to speak hypothetically,
So let's
right?
say
No.
Next year, guess what? None of that other money is payable up other than the injury.
Okay, so he still gets 141 million. They're still paying the guy 141 million to sit at home.
Correct.
And he's
So there's
still on the,
14
and he's still on the roster, which
So-
means
so
the cap
now-
still gets hit.
So now it's another Eric Berry situation where guess what? You're paying 14 million for a guy who's not even on your team.
so now you're at 24 million.
So now you're doing great.
Win a Super Bowl MVP?
I'm sorry.
A what?
Did Eric Berry win a Super Bowl MVP?
No.
And bring a championship to Kansas City?
No.
So it was only Pat Mahomes that brought a championship.
What about that for?
He's getting, but
He
Kansas
got paid. I mean,
Kansas City is still paying him.
Wait, he might have because he might have got a ring. He's on the roster.
Oh yeah,
He's paid.
true.
Yeah.
He's paid. He might fight for a ring.
True.
Who knows? Who knows?
But I mean, Damian Williams. I mean,
Like Pat Mahomes.
we just said Damian Williams is a stud.
All right, so here's
He's
my
got a
thing.
2-year, $5 million deal. You think he's gonna say, you know, I like playing it. I'm gonna sign for 2.5 mil. I know Pat got 500. I know
no.
Jones got 80.
No.
I know everyone else got this. I'll do 2.5. No, he's gonna be like, give me 20 mil a year. Okay,
Bro,
cool.
they're
Another
gonna,
20.
they're gonna cut him. They're gonna
then
cut
he's
him.
gone.
All the answers gonna be fraud.
Then he's gone.
Yeah, Mahomes will be cut. Okay, he'll have his $27 million roster bonus that's due to him, and someone on the outside, which will probably be the Oakland Raiders or someone inside their division, is going to take the chance to go and pick him up and pay him because they're going to be stupid, and Kansas City will be in the dumps for the next 25 years because, again, they're just repeating the vicious cycle that they've already done. It's that
I think the
simple.
best way to see how stupid this deal is what Baltimore does with Lamar. Because I don't see Lamar getting 10 years.
I don't either.
No, I would say probably like a 6-year extension.
I mean, you already seen Mahomes' game shifting after the injuries. He's not leaving the pocket as much. I mean, he leaves the pocket. He's mobile, but he's nowhere near what he was. And personally, as much as I hate to say it and I hate him, I think Cam Newton's going to have a better year than him.
Whoa.
I really do.
That's
What I
a
want you to
big,
remember
bold
is that
statement.
that's $140 million guaranteed to him. Outside of that, nothing. So whatever happens with Pat Mahomes, whether he plays the full 10 years and earns all that money, or he gets hurt and he's gone in a year or two, he's guaranteed the 140. Call it a day.
For Kansas City's sake, I hope he breaks both legs and
He's
can never
also
play the game
guaranteed
again.
all of the money when he makes the roster at the beginning of training camp.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Correct.
It's a
Correct.
roster bonus.
And
No, not even
Yeah,
training
yeah.
camp. Sorry, it's back in I think it's May.
Is it mini camp?
It's the first roster bonus. So it's either like March or May, whatever that free agency window is right after.
Patrick
If you're on the
Mahomes.
roster, you get it.
For the next, at least for the next 10 years, Patrick Mahomes will be on the roster every
yeah.
single
Oh, yeah.
year.
Oh yeah.
And
Because there is a thing called dead money, and dead money will hurt them.
And coming back at Nick commented on the feed, a bold statement. You know, there's a reason I think that. One, you got a guy playing with a chip versus a guy who just got big money, doesn't want to get hurt because he's going to lose a ton of money if he gets hurt. We mean going from 40, 50 down to 14. So he's going to play better.
I got a better question for you.
Cam looks ungodly,
Yeah.
looks better than Josh Gordon,
Yeah.
and he's a quarterback. And for the record, I said it last week. I'll say it again. I can't stand Cam Newton. I hate him.
I'm all
but
in.
for the sake of a Patriots fan, I'm all in on it. Looks great. I got excited when I seen him. Like, wow, dude, looks like top tier running back, and he's a quarterback.
So you think
Can't
Cam
wait.
Newton's going to have a better year than
I do.
Mahomes?
Yeah, I do.
All right, time out. Let me chime in
I
on
do.
this.
That's a bold
Number
Number
statement.
one. Number one.
On
Okay.
March 1st, by the way.
I was ready.
March 1st.
March 1st.
Even
okay.
worse.
I was ready to walk off a cliff after I saw what the Patriots did. I mean, they had an okay draft, right? I was ready to walk off a cliff. And just hear
debatable.
me out. Yeah, I was ready when they didn't do anything at the free agency. I'm sitting there, and I even said to Nick, I was like, you know what? I was like, they're done. I told him
They're
there's
starting to
only,
rebuild.
There's only one way that they could save me. I was like, and I gave him a list of 3 guys. Cam Newton was on there, so I'm back in. All right, I'll say that right on air. I don't care. Call me fair weather, whatever. I was ready to get off the boat. I'm back in with New England. I like them. I like them in the AFC too. And you know what? If they can get together and they can get the offense to click, this is a team that you could seriously see make some noise. Now this puts them with the Baltimores, with
The Kansas
City Chiefs. Right.
This
Here's
is
my
the
thing.
difference maker in
Yeah.
the New England offense.
Yeah. Now, here's
You
my-
don't have slowpoke Brady,
No, you got
and I
RPO.
love Tom Brady, so I'm not dissing him. Everyone knows the guy can't run. So you're going to pull back your defense. You're going to play edges. You're going to
Look
play
at all the
safe.
defenses in the AFC.
Dude, they gave him 30
Fast.
yards. They gave him 30 yards to run, and he wouldn't run any of it. You know what I mean? So you give Cam Newton 30 yards, he's taking 35.
And you know what? He'll
Looking
lower
like
his
that, he
shoulder,
might
too.
take 40.
He'll lower his shoulder. All right, I see we have a break. Before we have a break, I want to leave you guys all with this, and I want you to seriously consider this. People at home listening, chime in. I want to know right now, who is more important to their team, Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes?
Lamar Jackson.
No, don't answer it. Think about it. Let's get back
Oh,
to it after
I
the
already
break.
answered it, but whatever. All right, take it. Back to the break. We'll be back. Quick little break. Remember, 508-222-1320. You can still call in even though Drew's on the line. Thank you. Welcome back, MVP Sports Talk Radio. Another Wednesday night here. 8:30. Got about 30-ish minutes, 20 minutes left. The statement right now that we're asking everyone about at home is Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes. Who's your game changer? Who's the man behind the team?
Who is? It's not who's
Ryan,
the
what you
better.
got?
It's not who the better quarterback
No,
is.
I wanna know who's
It's
more important.
Who's more important to their team?
Yep. What do you got?
Pat Mahomes.
Okay. What do you got?
Lamar.
Okay. Drew, what do you got?
Pat Mahomes.
Okay. So we're going to go 50-50. I'm going to say Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
And I'm even going to go with you and say that I think he's a better quarterback.
Ooh, okay. Oh, Ryan has left the
We'll see you, Ryan. We'll see you.
Better not take
We'll
those
see.
empanadas.
We'll see you. We'll see you.
You can hear him on the mic, too.
What?
Yep. Yep.
Let me gather my thoughts.
Are you good?
Let me
Are
sit.
did you just tell me
What?
You good?
Lamar Jackson
Hey, don't
is a
go
better
blowing my
quarterback?
ears out.
I know. All right.
What was that, Drew?
Sorry, Jim.
Did you just tell me you think Lamar Jackson is a better quarterback?
Yep, I do.
Okay, so I was posing this question to my viewers while you guys were on.
Drew, I don't even think we need to waste our time on that take. I really don't.
Here-
Come on, let's
here's
go.
the deal.
Hit me with it.
Here's the deal, okay? If we're talking about value,
The
I
better
think there's a lot more.
quarterback.
I think there's a lot more factors that go into value to your team than just how talented a quarterback you are. So if we're talking about value, I can see a point of Lamar being more valuable because, well, first of all, they're not paying him nearly as much, right? So there's a lot more value there, and his skill is fantastic. And the guy just won the MVP of the NFL.
Yep.
He's obviously a very talented quarterback.
Yep.
So as far as value, I think you have to give it to Lamar Jackson. But, man, who's more important to their team?
So this is why I say I think that Lamar is the better quarterback. Okay?
He
In order-
can't throw.
It's fine. That's fine. First
That's-
off, he can throw because he can throw.
The amount
let's-
of
let's-
dirt balls and
He can
all
throw.
of that in that
Let's not overreact.
playoff
Let's
game,
be
like,
legit.
What?
Okay, he
All right,
doesn't.
but here's a good-
he doesn't
here's-
have the arm Mahomes has, but this is why I
Here's a
think
good
that he's
asterisk.
a better quarterback.
Here's a good asterisk. Who has the better receivers between the two?
The better receivers.
Yeah.
This isn't
Mahomes.
even. Yeah, exactly. So here's what
Well,
I
no,
think.
we're just talking about who's more.
No, I know,
important
but I'm saying is
to their
like
team.
No, but I'm saying because of the overall quarterback. I truly believe if you put Lamar Jackson in Kansas City, they still win. If you put Patrick Mahomes in Baltimore, they don't win.
I agree at that point.
And
But I don't.
I
I,
disagree.
don't think that Lamar is a better quarterback. But I do agree with the point of switching the two and you get different results. I 100% agree
So why don't you think he's a better quarterback? If that's what you agree with.
because I don't.
I think
see,
Mahomes is his arm's better.
I don't see the throw accuracy, a lot of dependability. Like for me, the coverage has to pull in. So some throws with better receivers are more open because of the fact that they know he can run, and you have to play scared. You have to play up. You have to play prevention defense. So there's a big difference in factors there. The same as it would be comparing like Brady to Mahomes pocket wise. So like defensively, he's more of a game changer because they have to adapt. Where Mahomes, you can play a decent, 5-3 and get away with it.
I want to point one thing out. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just looking too far into it. If Alex Smith never gets hurt, there's no guarantee that we don't, that we do see Mahomes. There's no guarantee. Flacco got beat. Like, yeah, he was injured at certain points and things like that, but at the end of the day, man, Flacco was beat. Mahomes came in because Smith got injured.
And beat by a guy that was a wide
What?
receiver.
Right.
Oh, that's what
right.
it is.
I think the plan all along was to eventually bring in Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have taken.
No,
Alex
and I
Smith getting
think no,
hurt
and
to
I
make
think
that
so
happen.
too. I think so too.
You trade up in that draft to number 10 from what were they at? Like 2021?
No, they weren't that far back because they weren't
were
a good
pretty
team that
far
year.
back.
No, they weren't a good team that year.
No, they were like 7. I thought they were.
Yeah.
Well,
I
they
think
made
they were
a
like middle of
pretty
the pack.
decent
They
trade
went
to
up
move
like
up to
7
10
picks,
and
I think.
draft it.
Yeah, I think it was only like 5 or 7 picks. I could be wrong. I mean, that was
So-
what, 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that
But I
Lamar
don't-
Jackson is one more valuable, which we all clearly can agree on. I mean, the guy was the MVP last year, and I feel like in different offenses, he could still make things work. And that's why I think he's a better quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that. You think that?
I completely disagree.
Really?
Solely based on the fact of how he performed against Tennessee in the playoffs. and how awful he was.
Yeah, but
Plain and simple. Tennessee went in with a game plan.
Yeah, but
and they
Tennessee
stopped
dominated Kansas City.
They stopped the RPO.
yeah, but they
You
also
stop the RPO, you stop Lamar Jackson.
right.
That's it.
Well, that's because you take
They
away
made
the
him
run
Yeah,
game.
but
Bro.
you beat Casey. You beat
They
New
were
England,
down
you
early.
beat Baltimore.
They were
beat
down
all the big
early
guys.
Yeah, but
immediately,
listen,
and they were dead in the water from that.
Let's not listen. Kansas
Baltimore
City-
never played from behind last
Kansas City should have lost that game too. The only reason they didn't
year.
to Tennessee when they were up.
24-0.
Yeah.
You think Lamar Jackson can make that comeback?
No,
Absolutely
no.
not.
I'm saying that Tennessee should have beat Kansas City too. Tennessee
To-
beat Baltimore. They
to a
should have beat
degree.
Kansas City. The
To a
reason why they
degree. They beat
didn't
New England.
was because they took the ball out of Henry's hand and their defense couldn't get a stop.
I don't think Lamar Jackson brings it back from 24.
I'm not
points down.
saying he brings it back, but you're saying that Tennessee, look what they did to him, look what they did to him, look what
Yeah, but
Tennessee
you
was
also-
doing to
you
Kansas
also-
City.
Yeah, and then Mahomes showed up.
I don't think it's
And
Mahomes.
that's-
I think
I don't
a
know if
big
it's so much Mahomes,
90% of
it's
that's
Tennessee falling
Tyreek
off.
Hill showing up too, and them falling off. A lot of that's Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
That comeback is mostly Tyreek Hill. I mean, one of the
Mahomes
pass.
did that. Mahomes won the Super Bowl. That's what's important.
So
right?
throw in a 10-yard pass.
He's
to a
more
guy-
important.
Throw in a 10-yard pass to the fastest guy in the league who can outburn
and Mahomes
any
has already
Tennessee
won an
defender.
MVP.
Okay, but what I'm saying is throwing a 10-yard pass to the fastest receiver in the league who burned the entire Tennessee secondary to make it a touchdown, or what is it, like an 80-yard pass out of a 10-yard jump pass? Mm-hmm. That's not Mahomes. Lamar Jackson can do that too if he had Tyreek Hill.
He's got a pretty good close.
And that is the
close
issue.
guy, Hollywood Brown.
And again, I'm going back to
I'm
that's
just
the
saying,
issues I have
Pat
with the
Mahomes
contracts.
kept the play alive, dude. Pat Mahomes kept the play alive.
No, I mean, I think I'm not like dogging him. I don't think he's a terrible quarterback. So
And it wasn't that pass more like 35 or 40 on the field?
there was like 3 different
All right,
passes that
hold
were
on,
short
hold on,
that
hold on,
Tyreek
hold on,
burned.
hold on, hold on. All right,
Uh-oh.
let's talk some real
Okay.
numbers. All right, so 2019, okay, Mahomes 319 of 484 with a 65.9 percentage for 4,031 yards, 8.3 yards attempt, 26 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 17 sacks.
Mahomes.
Passing, Mahomes.
How many games did he miss last year, though?
I don't think he missed any.
No, he did. He
No, he
missed
did.
Or was it one?
four. No,
Pat Mahomes missed some games.
I think
How
it was
many?
3.
Matt Moore.
How many?
Matt Moore was playing quarterback.
How many?
I think 3. I think. I'm
So,
not.
all right, someone work on that. Anyways, back to the other stats, okay? On the Jackson side, okay? 265 for 401 for 66.1 percentage. Percentage was higher. 3,127 yards, obviously a little bit lower. 7.8 yards attempt, 36 touchdowns, 6 picks, 23 sacks. Okay, running game. Obviously, that I'm not going to get into
Well,
that.
yeah, you can-
okay, it was one game
2
difference.
games.
Nope, it says here Mahomes 14, Lamar Jackson 15. So yeah, because they didn't play him.
Yeah,
the
they
last game.
benched. Yeah,
So that's
they
right.
benched Lamar.
Yeah, so it's a game difference. Okay. I'm just looking here. Obviously, we know that he was better in fantasy. Yeah. So I mean, if you want to talk raw numbers, I mean, he owns them in the rushing, and it's not close, but it's not far off on passing either. So if you want to sit there and say that Lamar Jackson can't throw the football, I mean, he had a better throwing percentage with less passes and things like that. I mean, I don't know.
Based off
Pat
one
Mahomes played
season.
14
It's
games
one
last
season.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. We just figured that out. Yeah, 14, and then Lamar Jackson at 15 because they benched him at the end.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's one game difference, and the numbers are almost there. I mean, we all know that the Baltimore Ravens are not, with Lamar, not a pass-first offense.
Yeah.
No.
I would like to think that Kansas City with
They were the
Patrick
top rushing
Mahomes,
team in the league
Right.
by a long
right?
shot.
Well, that's because he had over 1,700 yards rushing himself. When you have Pat Mahomes, I like to think that your first offense of play is a pass. No?
To a degree. But
Okay.
if
I mean,
It's not just Lamar
certainly
Jackson. Mark
after
Ingram
injury.
was
No.
a stud last year,
but I'm
too.
right. Okay, but I'm
and that
talking-
offense,
just
that
quarterback.
Baltimore
I'm
offensive
just
line
talking
is
quarterbacks.
godly.
I'm just talking about quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. Like, you can sit here and say that he's not a better quarterback. I think he's a better quarterback. I'm sorry. I've never really been on the Mahomes hype train. I think that he has a great coach in Andy Reid who puts a great system around him, kind of like what Belichick did for Brady when he first got into the league. And, put him on a different team. Like, Brady's going to be on a different team. Let's see what he can do. Is he going to be the same guy? I'm not saying he's going to be the same guy because obviously he's older, but is he going to be 3/4 of, what he's done? Would that happen with Mahomes? You know what I mean? There's certain levels. What I'm saying is if Lamar went into another team, I feel like he could still make things happen because of it's the double head. It's dual threat.
Yeah, I think the dual threat and the versatility
Right.
is the difference maker. I don't think he's a better throwing quarterback.
Assuming he lasts.
But assuming
Oh, yeah, they're
Well,
terrible.
again,
Yeah.
the same thing would be assume Mahomes last. How many injuries did Lamar have last year? 0. Mahomes had what? 3?
Last year was his first real full season.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, just last year alone, we're just comparing last year's stats. You got 3 versus none. So I mean,
hit
Mahomes.
more, too.
Definitely more injuries.
Mahomes is very injury prone. I'm fat, so I can say it. He's putting on weight every year. He looks bigger every year, does he not? He looked chubby last year, no?
Who, Lamar?
Yeah, no,
it's not
Mahomes.
Mahomes?
He gets a little bigger every year.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
comfortable. I mean,
Bulking up.
Comfy. He's going to be eating good
now
now.
he's going to be eating good, real good.
Right? So, he gets a little bigger. He doesn't run as much. He looks a lot more timid of running now than he did 2 years ago or in college. So, to me, I don't think he's that versatile, and I think that he's going to be, falling off in a couple years where Lamar might keep running for 5 years. Even if it's only 5, I don't think Mahomes is going to go anywhere.
I think both
A few
their
months
windows
ago, both of you said Lamar won't last.
I think both their windows
I don't
are-
think
are
Lamar
short.
will last.
I think both their windows are short.
I don't
I'll
think
stand
Lamar
by
will
that.
last. I gave Lamar, I think, 5 years last year, so maybe 4 more years. I don't think it'll last long, and they never do.
Lamar will get one more contract. That's it.
But the point
It'll
is,
probably be
you-
10 years for $600 million, and then we'll be back here doing the same thing. Guess what? At that point, I'm going to tell you the same thing. Overrated. Shouldn't be done.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see 10 years on him.
No,
I mean, if
realistic-
you do, I'll
No,
laugh. But
No,
like,
realistic number, if you want to go 10 years, $300 million.
Yeah.
It's realistic. $30 million a season.
That's a good, yeah.
Because
I
the
agree.
salary cap's going to come down.
I don't think.
It's going to come down.
I'm with you guys on that. I don't think there should be 10-year contracts in
No.
the NFL.
Why would
I
you
don't think
the
they're-
cap come down?
I don't like 10 years.
Hold
in,
on. What, Drew?
Why would you think the cap's going to come down?
Oh, we talked about this last week.
Yeah, it's got to come down because
Well, I understand-
revenue.
I understand
Less
with
revenue.
COVID- I understand with COVID and all that stuff, but
All right, well, go ask Adam Schefter because he's the one who brought it up, and
No,
I mean,
he's
that
saying
guy's
like
running the money.
he's saying like, are you talking for COVID or are you talking
No,
just,
just
in general?
In general, it's going to come down because there's less revenue. Like, it's common sense. Like, if there's
Yeah,
less
but he's
revenue,
saying in
there's
5
less
years
money.
from now, you think revenue is still down.
It's gonna still be down. If not, it'll be back to where it is now. It's not gonna just blow up and they're gonna be like, okay, now the new cap number is $400 million. The big thing is gonna be the new
I'm
TV
just looking
deal.
at the cap number, Tim. Just looking at the cap number. Let's say for the last 10 years, it's gone up every year, man. I mean, it started in 2011 at 120 million.
Yep.
120.6 the year after
Yep.
that, 123 after that. In 2014, it was 133, 143, 155, 167, 177, 188, and we're now
Right.
we're at 198.
So what-
I mean,
so
why
my-
would it-
so my
why would it
question-
not go up?
All right. So the cap, as far as it going up, the CBA is up in 2022, correct? Or is it 2023?
I have no
22.
idea.
So
22.
2022.
22.
So all these owners now are going to go to the table and they're going to say, hey, listen, man, 2020 really killed us, right? And we don't know if next year, I mean, I would like to think that next year things will be back to normal. But the Patriots already released, no matter what, this year, they're only operating at 20% capacity if this fan's allowed.
At the stadium?
Yeah, so
matter what.
no more than 20% for this year. That's already been decided on. Okay? So now you're going to lose 80% of your sales off of tickets, off of food and beverage, everything, right? Fine. You got less workers, understand that. Guess what? They lay those people off. They still have to pay them on unemployment. They still got to get money to them somehow. Okay? So they're still going to lose money regardless. There's more people, less people, they're going to lose money. All these owners, we know it, man. The owners are greedy, man. They want money.
Wait for football to become like a pay-per-view
Yeah,
event.
that's
you
what I'm saying.
Watch.
So they're gonna go to the table, the next CBA. They're gonna say, listen, these cap numbers are too high. We're losing money. We need to get the cap numbers down. The owners want the cap money down. If you think that they want to increase it, you're nuts.
So, just to butt in, current active agreement was ratified this year in 2020, extends to the 2030 season.
2023.
2030.
2030. For
2030.
the CBA.
Yes.
Oh, so they renegotiated
So they
it.
renegotiate this
They
year.
did it this year, ratified it, and includes changes to the revenue distribution to owners, increase in benefits to players, health and safety improvements, and eventually increasing to the 17-game season.
Okay. So now you're gonna have another 17. All right.
And
so,
then increasing active roster and practice limits.
yes, because they're gonna add more.
And you're
to the
going to
press
increase
there-
the regular season by
But
one
there is,
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you're talking that even they would have to go in and renegotiate every single season just to keep up with. It's not going to happen.
No.
There's not enough demand to raise it.
No.
If viewership is down, which you have to look back the last 10 years, every year, progressively the NFL viewing has gotten higher
gone.
and higher and higher.
So
and
even if-
higher
even if they
until
stayed-
last year they plateaued. You had the kneeling controversy, everything like that. Viewership tanked. They still struggled to get back
Yeah,
up,
I mean, I don't want to get into a whole like
Even with
politics
that,
thing.
The salary cap went up 10 million last year.
and it's back down now at 190, not
Right.
198.
No.
I did.
It was 188 last year and went up to 198.
Yeah,
this
it's
year.
198 this year. Yes, correct.
So went up $10 million this year from last.
Right.
Even with all the stuff you're talking about.
And now
But after this year,
But that's because it plateaued this year. It's all based off percentage of viewership and things like that. So think about this now, okay? You're going to have everything that's going on political. I hate to tie it into this, okay? There's going to be people that are going to boycott the NFL, no doubt. Is it going to be hundreds of thousands or millions of people? Probably not, okay? But that's still going to affect you. Again, and it's revenue share. How do you generate revenue?
right
ticket
now,
sales,
more teams are going to
television
get.
deals,
Right.
Yeah.
concessions.
So if all your revenue is
Sponsorships,
down,
endorsements.
you don't get it. So say I'm going to throw easy numbers up there. So, okay, so you
Yeah,
make
make it
100.
quick, we gotta break.
You make $100 in revenue. Okay, your revenue share is 3%. You got three. But you got
what
$3.
percentage of your revenue though is from ticket sales?
I'd like to think there's probably a good amount.
I think you have a higher percentage in
I want you to
endorsements
think
and
about this for a
TV
second,
deals and
before we take a break.
sponsorships.
Before you
and
guys take this break,
things like
I want you
that.
to think about this, and then go to the break. So I want you to think about this. When a national company loses revenue, right? Do they say, all right, well, we're gonna not, we're not gonna do this anymore? Or do they find ways to save money somewhere else and continue with what they do?
The way that they save money somewhere else is by decreasing the salary cap.
Correct. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
Or not even decreasing, not increasing.
Not increasing the cap.
Yeah, stays the same.
Yeah.
Because there are teams, again, and the issue with it is it's not about big teams, okay? Yeah, tons of big teams have huge revenue streams from companies. Okay?
Cowboys,
Washington
the
Redskins
Patriots.
aren't getting that kind of money. Jacksonville Jaguars aren't getting that kind of money. Okay, all these teams that don't get that kind of money, the whole reason for a salary cap is fairness. And if these
The Chargers.
bottom level teams are like, hold on a minute, we can't pay that. That is when this is why they have a collective bargaining agreement for a salary cap. It has to be voted on by all the owners. They're not going to approve that if they can't. If you have teams that aren't paying the $198 now because they can't afford to.
Yeah.
You think they're going to be like, yeah, let's jack it up.
To
Yep.
piggyback off of that real quick before we hit this break. FedEx was going to pull their name from the Washington Redskins. Guys, hold on, wait. I'm going to change the name because he knew if he lost that name and all that sponsorship that he was buried. That is why the Redskins decided going through all the change.
Yeah, they couldn't
he
afford
knew
it.
if they lost FedEx, he was done. So if you mean to tell me, because of sponsorships, things like that, sponsors do pull their names.
Pull away.
And not to mention,
And if
if
they do,
companies,
you're buried.
Not
Big
even
weight.
not even for political stuff. Just for if a company's not making that kind of money, they're going to pull stupid stuff like that. Okay, if I own FedEx and we're down 30% because of COVID, I might not even sponsor the Redskins anyway because we're tanking. We need to get bailout somewhere.
There's only certain bailouts you can get after that.
But with that, let's take this break so we don't end it with a break.
Facts.
We'll be back. 508-222-1320. And we're back, wrapping it up here with the final, 5 minutes or so. Maybe go over a minute. Shh, don't tell James. But with that, let's get some final thoughts. Let's
All right,
touch on Drew's thing there.
Final thoughts. First, I need to give a shout out for the beautiful, delicious, tasty empanadas that
And
were
crab
brought into
rangoon.
the studio
And crab rangoon.
by Ryan's better half.
Very much better.
Very much better half.
Yeah, very much better.
Especially now that she's cooked for me, she's definitely got a special spot in my heart. So thank you for that. I'm sure Nick
Yes,
will touch on
many
it himself.
thanks. I can't even wait to get out there and finish them. So yeah,
Mhm.
Don't let him fool you. He's already
The
been licking his fingers. and-
Empanadas,
Rolling
baby.
out.
It changed
thank
my
you,
life.
Giovanna, for the empanadas and the rangoon.
All right, Ryan. So
Yeah.
I'll let you hit it.
So good. Hit what? What am I hitting here?
Drew's
What am I hitting here? Huh?
Hey.
Huh?
Drew asked you a question before.
Oh, he did?
He
What do you ask
addressed all of us.
Huh? What do you ask me?
Are we still doing that? Or we?
Yeah, we're doing
What
that.
do you ask me?
So he had
He
asked
asked
you
you.
about.
Oh yeah, he kind of touched on it before the break.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
did
he
I
kind
say?
of did.
So
We're talking about
I'll
that.
touch on it.
Oh, yeah.
It might have
So
gone.
I think like
I'll give you my closing.
So I think number wise, it's not that black and white. I think you got to look at they got to pay Goodell. He gets a
Oh,
portion
yeah,
of
yeah,
everything. You
It's
know,
not-
networks get paid out.
So the way that the money is distributed, the NFL gets, like, as an organization, gets a giant chunk of that.
Yeah.
Not all the franchises do. So you got to incorporate that. You got to incorporate
Benefits.
Roger Goodell's contract. You got to incorporate how the NFL employees,
Insurance
nonetheless,
benefits.
insurance benefits, health, dental, like vision, like
all
that.
the training staff, everything.
There's so many gray areas in that revenue stream that without fans, the NFL, no sport will survive without fans in the stands. It won't.
Nope.
It's inevitable. If you do not have fans in the stands, long term, a professional sports organization company
And
cannot last.
you want to know the other issue too? Sorry, not to cut you off. Is you have hockey running late. You have baseball starting early. You have tons of.
Well,
you
baseball's
have.
starting late.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, starting late. I didn't mean to say early. You have tons of
Just feels
sports that
weird.
are going to be running on top of each other. They're going to be fighting for viewership.
So
They
I'll,
really
I'll give
are.
it to
You're
you
going to
like
have
this,
the
too.
Red Sox and the Bruins, and eventually, the Patriots and Celtics. You have so many teams that are fighting for viewership that don't have fans. That are all fighting for screen time.
I'll tell you like this. There's reasons why, the St. Louis Rams, went back to L.A. There's, things, the Oakland Raiders going to Vegas, the San Diego Chargers going to L.A., right? Because there's
Actually,
no
I think
fans.
for the record, I think the Chargers are actually worse off in LA.
No,
than
absolutely.
San Diego
I agree
right now.
100%. But
they have a 20,000 seat stadium and they can't even fill it.
But my thing is, man, this right there shows
Oh, the
you
Chargers.
what happens without fans. Your franchise falls apart. And if these guys don't have fans, they're not going to make revenue. And that's the bottom line, man. You could sit there, you could throw numbers left and right. Oh, this TV deal pays this sponsorship pays this. That's fine. It's a very well-known fact, man.
The NFL is going to get their fair share.
It's a very well-known
their
fact
huge cut.
that the fans pay the players' salaries. And
All right,
if it wasn't an
quick.
issue, Adam Schefter wouldn't be talking about it. The NFL, CBS Sports, all that wouldn't be putting out articles that COVID-19 might in fact kill the 2021 salary cap if there's no fans in 20. So it's facts. Like, there is a major concern if there's no fans or if it's reduced fans that this is going to kill the salary cap. And if it kills the salary cap, these guys like Mahomes and people like that are getting these big contracts are going to own anywhere from 25 to 33% of the salary cap, and that's just facts, man. It's all written right there. You got to look into it. So it's a very concerning for everyone. And it's all sports. It's not just the NFL. It's the MLB.
People like Adam
it's the
Schefter
NBA.
and ESPN need to sell subscriptions. They need to have people follow them.
So what happens when they're wrong and they continue to be
As much
wrong?
as much as I like them,
Yep.
I think they're just trying to instill some fear
Yep.
about this salary cap nonsense.
So
Remember,
what's the point of them
$5
putting
billion
fear into that, though? Why can't they sell?
Remember-
Hey, you know what?
remember-
We're going to be okay with even if there's reduced fans. The NFL is going to be great. Don't worry about it. Why do they need to sell fair? What are they going to get at the end of the day?
Just because it gets people like you and me talking about
But
it.
if they're wrong, how many times are people going to
See-
start listening to them?
I stopped listening to ESPN a long
right, so here's the thing.
time
That's
ago.
right.
I don't even like Adam Schefter.
So like the XFL would have survived then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the XFL should have survived.
But what you're saying, the XFL should have survived. People were talking about it. It was all over Facebook.
Yep.
But no one bought tickets, so they didn't survive.
Yep.
It wasn't anything to do with the league. I mean, the league performed. The league held expectations. They found players. It was competitive. It did everything people said it wouldn't do. People talked about it. It was on television. They had plenty of viewership because everything else was not on. Other sports were not on. They were playing. They had plenty of viewership, but they couldn't fill any stadiums, and they shut down.
Revenue. It's the bottom line. Revenue.
That's
$5 billion a year in TV deals. 166 per team. $166 million per team, just in a TV deal number.
Okay, so even if it's 166 million per team, that's fine. You still have to pay your operating costs. You still have to pay your players. You still have to pay everything.
But that TV deal takes up a bit.
So if you think that they're not going to come to the NFL players and say, "Hey, reduce it,"
billionaires. They can afford to take the
see, that's what you're not understanding. They don't care because at the end of the day, they're billionaires because they don't care.
It's a business.
They don't care who gets paid. Just like Bill Belichick. Hey, I don't care if I pay you. It's a business. Hey, it's part of the business. That's what happens. Because guess what? All these billionaires, no matter what happens in their lifetime, they're set and they're better off than me and you. They don't care. Do you think Bob Kraft really cares if there's a season?
Here's a good piggyback. I don't think that, actually, because they're billionaires, they care more, and they're going to not want to lose money more. No billionaire's going to be like, yeah, let me pay Pat Mahomes $60 million a year. I'm not making money, but I'm going to pay him. I'm going to watch him run around. It's fun. That's what I want to spend $60 million on. None of them are going to dig into their pocket at any point to pay it out. And I certainly think that the owner of the Buffalo Bills, that family who is not that well off, I mean, they got some money, but they also own the Sabres, so they're trying to build that up too. They're not about to dig into their pocket and lose a ton more money after they just bought a brand new franchise out of their pocket.
What about the teams like Vegas? You just built a brand new stadium
that they can't fill.
And number one, that whole stadium was not paid for by just state and city grants. They're on the hook for some of that. And if they're not getting revenue from it, how are they going to afford to pay for the stadium?
Gillette Stadium still pays property tax.
Yeah,
of course.
How do you do that?
Okay, they have Patriot Place. All right, so the Jets are still going to pay property tax for the Meadowlands with nothing around it. They're still going to have to power the entire stadium. They can't just be like, let's just turn on half the stadium. They power the entire thing, whether people show up or not. They pay medical staff. Yep. They have in-house MRI machines. All these overhead costs that cost tons of money.
I'm going to leave it at this. This is my last thought. If we want to talk about owners opening up their pockets and things like that, if that's such a fact, why didn't Tom Brady get paid here? If owners are so willing to open up their pocket and pay for people, why didn't Tom Brady get paid here? Because we all know that was, but we all know that was Kraft's boy. And if Kraft would have had his way, he would have picked Brady to come back. So we all know Brady didn't come back. Why? Because he wasn't paid. He didn't feel appreciated. So if that's the case, why didn't Kraft come in and say, you know what, Brady, I'm going to give you $60 million cash for 2 years. Want to know why? Because at the end of the day, he doesn't care. No, you can sit there and say it's because of Belichick. Brady wanted money. You really think he went down to Tampa and said, yeah, I got a competitive chance to beat Belichick here. Let me go play in Tampa. No, it's the only team that wanted to give him multi-million dollars over multi-years. That's a fact.
Absolutely.
So why didn't Kraft open up his checkbook or the old safe and say, hey, Brady boy, here's $60 million. I think we're square now. Sign back for 10.
It might have been one of the reasons.
I think one of the big reasons is what we've been talking about for a while now, and that's the fact that there's a salary cap, Tim. So.
Well, okay, so then what can the owners do if there's a salary cap? If the NFL comes out and says, nope, you know what, the league didn't make money this year, we're going to be at $170 million next year. You're just further proving my point that, again, it's going to come down to revenue, and if everyone can't agree at the CBA, and if they all refuse to have the players come in, then guess what? There goes your league. So the NFL will do what's right, and they're going to reduce the cap.
You think the NFL is going to collapse next year?
No, because they're not going to allow it to get to that situation. They're going to reduce the cap, make it fair across the board, and they're going to go back to the drawing board and how we can get fans.
Not to mention, these TV stations are going to want more money from the NFL
if
there's no fans in the stands. So the NFL's just going to lose even more money.
Think about all the teams that don't even have primetime games. Let's think about that first. Seriously.
Yeah, but all those teams get a share of that revenue, dude. They all share their revenue.
But that revenue is going to tank. Because these TV stations are going to want more money from the NFL because there's no fans in the stands.
Dude, whether or not there's fans in the stands, they're paying $5 billion a year for those broadcast rights.
That $5 billion is not getting evenly distributed, though, man. The way you think it is.
It's revenue sharing.
Okay, so sharing. So everyone's got to be paid off of that.
They don't share. They don't share the gate. That's not something they share. They don't share the concessions. They don't
Right.
share that stuff.
Right.
The
But
Jaguar,
TV deals
like
shared.
No, it's fine. So even if they share the revenue, there's not going to be any revenue.
you know where it'll hurt first? The small market teams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The small market teams
That's
are
what
going
I'm
to hurt.
saying.
Are going
That's what I'm saying. And
it's
if you
going to
fight-
affect them first.
Year contract.
Okay, all right. So Drew, so the Washington Redskins made $140 million in revenue. The cap's 170. You really think they're gonna go to the table and say, "Oh man, the poor Redskins really can't afford to, get up to 170 million"? No, they're gonna reduce it back down to an even playing field. Why? Because that sells viewership, and if you don't sell viewership, you don't have revenue. Period.
And that's the reason that they have a salary
I'm not
cap.
following
Yes.
you, man. I'm not following you.
CBA.
Why wouldn't Dan
Are
Snyder
you following
pay
me?
people?
I'm following.
Are you following me?
Yeah, I get you.
All right.
Why-
Maybe
why
it's
wouldn't
different when you're in
Dan Snyder
studio.
pay
I don't know.
people?
I don't know.
It's the small market teams is what's going to get affected first.
Dude, these are small market teams. They're
Period.
still billionaire owners.
It doesn't.
Why
the
does
owners
the
don't
NBA have
care.
it reduced? Why is the NBA reduced? You mean to tell me that the Boston Celtics can't afford more than what their salary cap is? Absolutely can. The reason why they are is because it's a team like the Memphis Grizzlies and the Milwaukee Milwaukee Bucks. Teams like that don't have that exposure, that don't have that cap,
The
is why it's
small
set down
markets.
to an even playing field. And if you don't agree that it's going to be an even playing field across the board, then man, I'm never going to change your mind. So I'm done with it.
On that note, we'll pick this up next week because the studio has to be cleaned because of COVID-19. Mm-hmm. We love you all.
Well, you guys enjoy the night. It's been fun to
You
hear
too, buddy.
guys.
Drew, we love
talking to you.
we love that you were able to join us for all 2 hours.
I like the hot
This was
debates.
these were awesome debates. This was fantastic, and we can't wait to have you in studio again,
Best
buddy.
show ever,
We
baby.
really
Woo!
can't.
Hey, go find a cure for COVID, and I'll be back.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey. All right, on that note, Drew, Tim, Ryan, and Nick signing off. Thanks for tuning in. Catch y'all next
And
week.
thank you,
7 to
Giovanna,
9.
for the empanadas.
Yes, thank you, Giovanna, for
Yeah,
empanadas.
baby. Yes, I'll stop at Stop and Shop on the way home, honey.
Ooh, hey. Thank you all again for tuning in. We'll see you next time, next Wednesday, 7 to 9. We'll be here. MVP
buddy.
Sports out.
Dude.